what's up, guys? Not sure if I'm live yet, but I never do. Dan keeps telling me to get something that's like a. Oh, I can hear myself whistling, so I am live streaming. All right. Dan keeps telling me to get something that shows, you know, that like a background with some music or something, just to till I know I'm streaming. But I don't really care about that shit. This isn't that serious that I have to do all that shit. At least not yet. But what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I think Devin's gonna come in here in a bit. I don't know who else is coming, but if anybody wants to come in, let me know in the chat. I'm in the AIU Discord, so unless you're if you're not in the AIU Discord, I probably can't bring you on. So. Let's see what's live. I don't see anybody in the chat. So, oh yeah, somebody's in the chat. Hi, honey. Grant. Yo. So. It ends up kind of funny because I'm always talking about drama channels and I'm like, oh, I fucking hate these drama channels. I don't want to be a drama channel. But for some reason, some drama ends up always happening and somehow I got dragged into it this time, which is funny. But Rogie! Well, Rogie's here with me. Sean's here with me.
Hey, what's up?
Hanging out, chilling, talking about the dramas. But yeah, somehow I ended up getting sucked into it last night. I think it's mostly I just kind of felt bad for this Thomas guy. Like, these guys were just piling on him. He did a live stream just basically because, you know, of the shit that happened, and he basically felt betrayed by his friends. And instead of his friends trying to come in and be like, hey, man, you're misunderstanding our intention. We didn't mean it like that. Or, you know, if you took it this way, we're sorry. You know, we meant it this way. They just kept coming in and calling him a faggot. And, yo, fuck you, you fucking faggot. You have no self-reflect, you fucking faggot. And this, that. It's like, that's not how friends act, you know? Like, so I just felt bad for this dude. He just basically streamed to kind of air out that he feels shitty. And people, and everybody's trying to justify to him what Cog and Esau did, and they're not getting the point. They keep trying to say that you're the one who put that audio out there. You know, you're the one who got drunk and left the stream on and had that audio out there.
Wait, Esau being shitty? That's not surprising.
Yeah.
No. I think it does speak to how these people see friendship when it's like, all right, so you made a mistake, you fucked up, and you did something that's embarrassing, and you put it out there. Therefore, we're going to exploit that because we're your friends. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think they're not understanding where the line of ragging on a friend is.
And they're not getting, like, the whole... Yeah, dude, it was like 2 hours of these guys in the chat trying to say...
Oh, yeah, that is
Thomas
horrible.
Doesn't get it. He won't admit that he's an alcoholic. He doesn't get it. And Thomas is saying, yeah, I fucked up. He's admitting it the whole time. I fucked up. But... his issue was the way his friends handled his fuck up, you know, and they weren't getting it. That was his beef. They weren't getting it. They kept trying to twist it, and, you know, this is what they do. They move the goalpost, right? And they were moving the goalpost to be like, oh, you just won't admit that you're a drunk, that you're an alcoholic. And he's like, he's saying he's not an alcoholic, but I'm saying regardless of whether he is or not, it's besides the point. The point is that you guys took his embarrassment. You took his embarrassment and humiliating moment, and you fucking broadcasted it for everyone behind his back while he was sleeping, you know. I don't know which part of this is true because they both say different things, but Thomas was saying that he was DMing Cog, telling him, please don't stream that. Cog is saying that he didn't tell him that or something, or that he told him he was going to stream it. I don't know. Either way, it's douchey. In the end, Coach Red Pill even got that clip. And even Coach Red Pill had enough fucking decency to clip out bad parts of that clip just to air a little 15-minute clip. When and Cog Cog played the whole 50-minute thing. You know what I'm saying? Straight through. And it's like even a guy like Coach Red Pill, who's not even his friend, cut out like the most embarrassing and fucked up parts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, all I have to say to this guy is, I think you need new friends.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, dude, you need to be more choosy about your friends. And he was like, dude, you're a reasonable guy, man. You're right, man. I don't know why. He was saying, he was apologizing to me, and he wanted to apologize to Devin about, like, I don't know why I listened to Esau about you guys. You guys seem way cooler and way more real and shit. And I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, shit. But I was like, in general, you shouldn't listen to people telling you how other people are. You should find out yourself, you know.
The problem a guy like that's got, I think I said this to you earlier, is that people around you, people say on the internet, like me, like you, that judge you on at least partially on the people that you choose to hang around with.
Yeah.
So what does the fact that he wanted to be friends with these people say about him?
Yeah.
I mean, that was always my problem with Esau. Always. It's like, I do not think that this isn't a person I would choose to be friends with whatsoever.
No. Yeah, that's kind of what I was telling him. I was like, that's kind of the point Dan was telling him. You surround yourself with all these 1488, y'all. You surround yourselves with these idiots of no substance. You're gonna live in it. You know, these people are gonna turn around and backstab you. You're living in this fucking shitty fucking life that you chose for yourself. Like, surround yourself with quality people, and you'll have quality interactions. You know, and quality friends. They won't do shit behind your back. You know what I'm saying?
Is that your dog I can hear howling?
Yeah,
in the
my
background?
dog's howling. That means an ambulance is coming by, I guess. She don't
Always
like
make sure to be friends with people that'll stab you in the front.
Yeah, like this Joseph Pelham guy. Somehow he thinks he's funny, but it's not funny at all.
Yeah.
Especially with
he's not funny.
Especially typing 1488, which is a joke that's happened for the last 2 years repeatedly in every live stream chat. Like, how is that funny still? I wasn't funny in the first place, but how is it funny still, even if you found it funny?
If you say it enough times, Alf, it'll eventually become funny.
It's not even funny in an ironic way at this point. It's just stupid.
Or is it like,
if you're stupid, I'm gonna time you out.
Or is it like you're just putting in these jokes hoping you catch that one 12-year-old that's their first time on the internet and they'll laugh at it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to catch the new 12-year-olds. Next year I'm going to do it again and catch the new 12-year-olds again. They've never heard it. I just need that laugh.
Thus the thing spreads like a virus.
I still don't understand Jew hate as a general phenomenon. It just seems to boil down to jealousy to me.
Yeah, I don't get it. It seems like it to me too. In general, I just don't care about all that shit. They take it like it's funny to me because they're like, you know, they hate Jews because they think they're the elite or whatever. But it's like, what if it was white people? Then you're gonna hate all white people? You hate the people that are the elite, not what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, their race don't matter. You think they really care about other Jews?
It should be pretty fucking obvious that even if all the elite are Jews, let's just say that they are, that's all absolutely not the case that all Jews are the elite. Yeah, obviously, like the vast majority of Jews would still not be the elite.
Yeah, that most people are not the elite, even Jews.
So that's Jews are the wrong demographic to be aiming your ire at, if that is what you think.
But why hate people that have made your life better? Like, these people have created the very cushy first world you live in. You're welcome.
Devin stayed in the other channel. Should I drag him in?
Maybe.
I know he tweeted out that he was going to come on here, so I don't know if he knows, or maybe he's not paying attention, didn't know we switched. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Drag him.
He doesn't play. I don't know if you're there, Devin, but we dragged you into the live streaming channel.
What's up? I'm here. Yeah, I just tweeted you out.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
I'm just in a back and forth with.
Oh no, God.
Yeah. I think I'm on a delay. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
For some reason, every time you talk, but only you, I echo. So I'm going to put headphones on just to.
Yeah, there's something wrong with me. Yeah.
Wow, that's an understatement.
No, it was happening on. Oh my God. A 3-foot Mexican lesbian just said that there's something wrong with me. No, I was on WhatsApp and there was a delay on that too. So I think it's, I don't know what it is, the internet, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Germany. I blame Germany.
I was going to say, it's weird. German internet seems nearly as bad as Australian.
Yeah, my channel's back. I am, yeah, no. I heard some of what you're saying. Introductory statements. Some of the cringiest shit I've ever seen ever. We are dealing with like 10th tier, just trash, like spastic, desperate losers. Any following, any attention, and they're like clamoring. They're like, oh, you know what it is? It's like low-level dudes like the Killstream guys. They're like, these guys aren't more advanced than us. Like, I could do this shit. Like, this is just like regular people talking online. Like, I could do that. And it's not that easy, actually. You'd be surprised. So what they do is they know individually they're nothing. Like, they have nothing. YouTube channels. They can't carry. They can't carry an audience. They can't carry a conversation. They don't know what they're doing. So they team together and they think, oh, the sum of our parts is going to be watchable. No, it's not. It's definitely not. And the only thing worse than what they actually produce is their audience. an audience that finds that interesting enough to watch. I mean, look who's in their fucking audience. Mitzi Moore, Sarah Hatcher.
I told
what does that say about
Sarah
you?
Hatcher.
you and Cog were going back and forth, and that ended up being me and Cog going back and forth. I was like, Cog, you have zero substance. Your fans cling to you because they just have slightly less substance than you. And I was like, read your chats. I bet all you see is repetitive jokes. They just repeat the same thing over and over again. They say nothing of substance.
Seriously.
It's horrendous.
Look at this as a perfect example. Look at my audience. Mike Pierce, Phil Anselmo, Yami Bakaru.
Yeah.
Bakura. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's Asian.
Bakura.
Right. She's a Twitch goddess. We got meme therapy. I mean, granted, we got
Chrissy.
we got Rogue Knight, so I mean, it's not all, but like, yeah, I mean,
Chrissy, a
our
real
audience,
princess.
like, these are actual human beings of value,
Yeah.
like that have
Yeah.
productive lives, who like other people watch and admire, and they choose on their own volition to come and watch us or me. That's an honor. It's
like,
a friggin' honor.
I don't know if it was the same with you, Devin, but do you remember, like, in high school, there was always, like, these really loser kids that would try to be friends with other people and nobody wanted to be friends with them. But then all those kids who couldn't have friends ended up collecting together in one area, and they'd have their own little place to hang out on the side of the high school or something, you know? And that's basically what's going on. You got one guy who's, you know, really has nothing, you know? He has no substance, no creativity, but all these guys follow him because they have slightly less and they have to cling on to him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I say take the Pepsi challenge. Do the audience taste test challenge. I put up 10 people in my audience versus 10 yours, and let's just see who they are. Of course, they're all anonymous. Like, they're all hiding. They're not going to stand up and be counted. You know, it's just a cabal of scared cowards, just losers.
Yeah,
I'm so sick of it.
I went on there last night. He kept trying to, like, Thomas kept trying to get Cog to come on and talk to him about it, and I'm like, dude, just fucking drop these losers. Like, you guys are not meant to be friends. Just fucking drop it, dude. I don't get it.
You're not losing anything if you drop them at all.
No, not at all. In fact, he might be
it was very
by
funny.
dropping them. So.
You know, the whole Smellington thing, like, that was embarrassing for that guy. And he's obviously outed as, like, a drunken hillbilly with a miserable life. Okay, so what? Like, I assumed that.
Yeah.
Like, the first thing I heard ever out of that guy's mouth was, I don't like AIU. That was the first thing. Some guy sent me a timestamp. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
He actually told me last night after I talked to him for like 2 hours on his stream, and he told me last night, like, I don't know why I ever listened to Esau about you guys and AIU. He's like, you guys seem really cool, and I listened to Esau that you guys were like this and that, and he's like, I never should have done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because Esau is a bitter ex-girlfriend. He's like, been, it's sour grapes. I mean, he's eaten all the grapes, basically. But I mean, Esau, he's like a fat Iago whispering like, dark tales about us.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's so bad. But these people listen to it.
But the thing is, the original story was Smellington is a smelly drunk and his wife can't stand him and that's a doomed marriage. Okay, that's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
But then it was, who the fuck are these co-hosts to throw him under the bus?
Yeah, seriously.
In a split second. What was that?
And then they were trying to justify it by saying, "Oh, we were doing it for your own good." Like, what? Like, what the fuck?
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of I was watching The Bachelor in Paradise, and they had this cringy guy on there, this male model, and we're in the middle of a rose ceremony where all these relationships, it's all this drama, people are crying, and people are breaking people's hearts, but this guy wore an outfit to the rose ceremony that was so embarrassing. It was like a child's onesie with like a floral print. It was the worst outfit I've ever seen. And so all these other people, it took over the headline. It was like, oh my God, I thought we were on a TV show giving out roses, but what the hell are you wearing, bro? It was like, it just dominated it. And that's what this whole oofcast thing reminds me of. It's like the story goes from one thing to the other. It's Smellington is a fat, disgusting, drunken, smelly dude. But then it's like, his co-hosts are degenerate assholes, and then oh my God, the audience, like the whole project, like this whole thing. Like, I will guarantee you one thing right now: whatever side projects these 4 people go off and try to do will all fail miserably. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep crashing and burning. Like, I mean, Esau's been through how many partners now? Like, he just keeps going from partner to partner to partner.
Oh right.
He'll probably partner up with just Cog now, and that's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, and he keeps thinking it's always someone else. Oh yeah, it's David. Oh, it's Devin. Oh, it's Amy. Oh, it's Alf.
I found it really funny.
No, dude.
I was
No,
talking to
it's you.
Thomas, and Esau comes in, and Thomas was like, "Well, I guess Esau wanted to talk to him, so Thomas was like, you wanna back out and wait?" Or I was like, "No, I'll just sit here quiet. You guys talk it out. I won't say nothing." So I just sat there, and Thomas kept bringing up to him, "Oh, we're family, right, Esau? We're family." And I'm like, "Wow, that's exactly the shit he was saying to Amy and Jay when they were partnered up. Oh,
Yeah.
we're family," and then he treated them like shit.
It's emotional manipulation or an attempt at it anyway.
Oh my god.
That's what he does. He's in such desperate need of getting that sort of bond because he has nothing in his life that he's like, he exaggerates. He takes it to this extreme, and then the whole thing crumbles because his character is not there. He is a train wreck of a man.
Yeah.
I mean, physically, mentally, socially, economically, the whole thing. The guy's a disaster. I knew it within 2 seconds. But he was like, I thought he was an autistic fan. He sent me a picture. He had bought one of my T-shirts. The guy's a fanboy. You remember that picture?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
Oh god.
Right. Well, but here's the thing. If you're going to be an autistic fan, I'm probably not going to go after you because I'm like, oh, life has probably treated you bad. Like you're a morbidly obese loser. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to say to you that a mirror can't say 100 times better? But if you get online and start talking shit about me, then it's like, oh, I'm going to mention that you're an autistic loser. I'm going to what did I do today? I just posted a video of Esau walking around his bedroom. Just that is an insult. I didn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
That was
I essentially held a mirror up
to
to
the
him.
Aladdin
With
music.
the Aladdin
as well.
music in
Genius.
the background.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's terrible. I'm going to talk to my girlfriend for a second. You guys know what that is?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, no problem. That's funny. He tried to call me weak last night. He tried Esau, and I was like, I'm
Esau.
weak. I was like, I'm weak. I'm thin. Like, I'm not obese like you. I have enough. I have enough willpower to not eat myself into.
I was going to say, all you have to do is look at Esau, look at his physical presence, and see that he's got weakness exuding out of every part, unless, and I will give him this, he body slams you, because that'll fucking hurt.
Yeah, but he would never catch me, please. If we were fighting, I'd just run circles around him until he was aired out.
I can barely walk, and I could run away from him.
Like, please, he would never catch me. Yummy said, "Are they bringing back Irritable Bowel syndrome?" That's because Internet Blood Sports they like to abbreviate it as IBS. Every time I do the same joke. Every time I see people type that, I'm like, Irritable Bowel Syndrome? Like what? What are you guys talking about? You guys got gas? It's so retarded, but it's this trendy thing. Like you see, the first big thing was the atheist versus creationist thing, right? And then you started seeing people jump aboard, and you notice once the whole SJW thing started and that became popular, all these people jumped on board that. You know what I'm saying? And they just keep going on to the next thing, and then it was Internet Blood Sports. Now that's the new thing. It's a trend. Everybody switch your channels to that. You even seen people who used to make content. Andy Worski's a perfect example of this. He jumped the bandwagon on each and every turn, and even when it went into this blood sports thing, what did he do? He dropped making content, which he had been doing the whole time, and just went straight to doing live streams every day on this bullshit fucking alt-right kind of fucking blah 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 blah. It's just bullshit.
Well, I
man.
mean, he saw the sort of the quick rise to prominence as he saw it anyway of things like the Kumite. And thought, well, I want a bit of that subscriber growth. Thank you very much.
Yeah. That's what it is these people. And it's really gross. I understand people want to grow their channels. People want to be big on the internet. But it's really gross when you have that desperate look about you about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, where everything you do
It's
just
so desperate.
Yeah, everything you do just exudes that desperate look. It's like, ugh.
Guys, let me tell you something. They have a new show. They're already trying to capitalize off the drama surrounding this Smellgate, and they have a new show called Ranter Bants. Ranter Bants.
What?
Oh,
What? And
so
this is
bad.
honestly on the back of Thomas
Name yourselves
Ellerington
properly,
smelling a
God damn
bit.
it.
What the fuck?
That was not very
Ranter
creative.
Bants. It's terrible. I need to talk to Mike Pierce. We got to set up talk about UFCs, upcoming UFCs.
Yeah.
Got to think of a name for that stream.
Yeah.
Maybe
I've
like
been waiting for that.
Mike Pierce can't take me down.
Oh shit.
That's my statement. I don't think he has it in him. I don't think he can.
Just call it I choke.
I'd
out
give
Mike
him
Pierce. Mike Pierce.
Mike Pierce tapped.
Mike Pierce tapped. Oh no. Forget it, Devin. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, he can't even spell your name
It's
right.
so
You're not gonna stream with him. Look at him.
Exactly. No, that's a sign of disrespect. No, Mike Pierce was calling out. He was calling out Khabib. He's going to come out of retirement to fight Khabib. They're like, in a shocking move, Khabib's taking on retired UFC fighter Mike Pierce, giving him the golden ticket, a la Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Man, that would be amazing. We'd all have to watch that and cheer him on.
Oh God, we'd fly Mike Pierce out to Moscow just to get mauled by this guy. That'd be amazing.
Start a GoFundMe to have him train with bears in the woods.
Oh, we got Kelly Noodle in the chat. She's back from
Kelly.
Ireland. It's always nice to have a little. We got 2 girls. Jesus, breaking records right now.
We've got 3. We got Kelly. We got
Alf is a
Honey,
pussy
3 women.
magnet. Jesus
and we got
Christ,
Yummy.
Alf. What are you doing?
Yeah, but even with this avatar, like Alpha's going down a dark path with this. I think
Yeah,
he's going
it's just
through
gonna
it.
it's gonna keep getting darker until I become like a goth death channel or something. Oh look, now Bianca's here. 4 girls.
There's Bianca in there, yeah.
Dude.
Wow.
Look at you. You got 51 watching. This is the kill stream, man. What
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hell?
That's it.
This is records.
I'm gonna have to jump to doing blood sports now, right? I'm gonna have to get 2 people fighting in here all the time.
We're going to have to get into the marking.
Well, it's funny because there's so much more drama coming. Like we got the Medicare stream is later. He's going to go after Sargon. Sargon did a video last night going after Medicare. Then you got the stupid Oofcast people. Yeah, everybody's going after everybody. Andy Worski's getting involved. Crowd is there fighting. Worski is fighting. I mean,
I really couldn't
Oh,
fucking
I
care
forgot
less.
he crawled back from wherever
There was-
hole he
I saw
dug
some-
himself.
I saw some clip somebody tweeted about. It was Tonka talking to Kraut, and the only part of the clip I heard was Kraut saying, "Don't worry, nobody will know we were talking."
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
saw
was-
that clip too, but what was
I don't know
was
the
the actual
context.
conversation
Yeah, I don't
about?
know what the
'Cause
context
Marina
is.
said it was like months ago, something like that, and they've actually been in cahoots about something for a while, but he wasn't really paying attention. And
Oh, Kelly wants in.
Yeah, she can come in.
Yeah,
Kelly,
can come
you're a mod. You could just jump in the live streaming chat.
No, she
No, she
doesn't.
can't.
Oh no, she's not. Well, just jump in.
Go
There.
into the main chat, and we'll drag
Yeah,
you
go
in.
in the main chat. We could drag you in. Oh no, it's the Alfred. Is he there?
Wow.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, I'd wreck some.
Kelly, just
Alfred.
Kelly, just leave me alone if you come in. I don't want.
I was going to say, Sean
It's
is a
okay,
bit
she doesn't
scared,
want
Kelly.
you.
Go
She
on
wants
then.
your hot dad.
No, I mean, leave me
mean-
alone because she's been taking a fucking piss out of me all the time. I'm too tired to deal with it today.
Oh, shut up, John.
You know, I think the whole thing with this drama stuff, it's like we've seen it all before, and with every time it gets more pointless. So it's the law of diminishing returns.
Yeah.
It's like the boy who called drama. It's just there. It's not dramatic. Nobody cares.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's
But
the problem. That
It's still funny.
you
I mean, it still has that train wreck appeal to it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm lagging.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just all these channels that I say. If you notice, they all fucking go after each other. Like, remember, like Worski had partners, and then him and his partners go at it, and then all these other channels like that too. Tonka will be cool with people. They'll have people on the Kumite. They're cool, and then the next week they're fighting each other. Blah, blah, blah. It's just the nature of these drama channels. If you're gonna keep looking for drama, and you're a person of no substance, eventually you run out of things to have drama about. So you start eating each other. You know.
Well, these are the same people who used to talk about the left eating itself and all this crap.
Yeah,
And
you're
they're
so
fucking, they're just
You're so
doing
right.
it now, like with each other.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
Pathetic.
And also, you know, there's that NPC joke where they're talking about the people on the left just keep repeating the same things no matter what you say, they don't change. That's exactly what these people do too, because they keep repeating the same fucking Jew jokes, man. It's so annoying. And I keep telling them, dude, you people have no substance. You repeat the same fucking jokes for like 2 years and don't come up with anything new. And the second one thing does come new, you realize they all jump on that and repeat it over and over and over because it's the new thing. So these fucking people have nothing.
They're just
man.
like kids. Like there was always like the majority of kids at school would just do whatever like the new cool thing was. Like that's what they're like.
The thing is though, Sean, it's not the new cool thing anymore. It was let's say it's cool for the sake of argument. It's the cool thing from like 2.5 years ago, and we've all heard it before. We've moved on to cooler things than.
How long have you been, Sean? How long? I don't know how often you go on live streams and stuff, but if you look at, if you have, how long have you been seeing people type 1488 in chats for him? You know, like a million times.
Well, it's like what Chris was talking about on the last live stream as well, about the joke, like, oh, rest in peace, blah, like insert name.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Talking about, like, yeah, of course they don't, like, yeah, it's not new anymore, but they're gonna stay with it until the new thing comes along, because they're so fucking boring. Like,
that's what I'm saying. They're people of no
bastards.
substance. They have nothing. They have no creativity. They just find the next thing and they cling on to that. And it's like, dude,
you realize there's still people with Pepe like avatars,
God,
right?
Oh yeah, Pepe avatars with MAGA hats on. Who
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, the first time I really came to realize how these people won't let it, or don't realize they're doing this stuff, is the whole keg stand with Billy when he did the new Kekistan, and everybody came after him about it and to be like, you don't understand this and that. And it was not more, I'm not even joking, it was not more than a week and a half later that the whole Kekistan thing was just fucking forgotten from one day to the next, and they jumped onto the next thing, and it was like, what? I was like, after like a year of this, these people just dropped it and went on to the next thing. And a week before they dropped it, Billy's like, new Kekistan, this shit's bullshit. And they're all like, fuck you, man, you don't understand. It's like, no, we understand. This shit's ran its course. Get rid of it. You know, like, and then they did do it, so it's nuts. Of course, Billy's not going to get any credit for that, but I think Billy should get some credit for it.
Yeah, I think Billy probably had quite a lot to do with that, to be honest.
I think a lot of people saw that and were like, realized that, oh no, this guy does know what it means. He's just saying that it's corny. Like, we need to get rid of it. It is corny. You guys
it's another one of those things. It was pretty dumb to start with, but
it was dumb from the beginning.
If people want to have a laugh and a joke, then fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the whole point of their jokes, though, right? Is that we're not intelligent enough to understand them. We're just not like. We're not in the main circle.
That's what they always fall back on that sort of thing to sort of justify why they keep doing it over and over and over again. But it's like, all right, then let's say that I don't understand. How is you repeating the same thing that I don't understand over and over again, getting your point across in any way? It isn't, and it isn't funny. If I don't understand it, it's not funny.
Yeah, if you go to
the thing is that we do.
And in the end,
do understand it?
Like what Kelly was saying about... Oh, go ahead.
Chris, if you don't understand it, it might be your MS.
Could be. I do get very, very confused.
But like Kelly was saying, they try to take it as, oh, they don't understand it, and that's kind of the joke. But it's like, at what point do you realize everybody understands it now? You know, it's like,
and it's still not funny.
And it's still not funny.
Yeah.
Like,
it's still not funny.
It's still not funny, and you're still using it. Like, there's a point where you have to realize it's time to retire a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can make the joke funny again by getting rid of it for like a year or two and then bringing it back. But they don't even do that. They just play it to death. It's fucking nuts. I don't get it.
But that's like the joke was never funny. Like, oh, haha, gas the Jews. Like, how...
Yeah, how is gas the Jews funny? I don't get it.
The thing is, for a joke, for with using the Jew jokes as an example, for jokes like that to be funny, you have to have an incredibly infantile sense of humor to start with.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the kind of person that you are, really.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to take that topic and do something funny, then you got to be creative with it. You can't just say gas the Jews. That's not funny. You know, if I say, shoot the spick, how is that funny? I don't get it.
Yeah.
But if you make something around it that's intelligent and make it into a good creative joke, then it makes sense. Then it's fine. Get it. But...
It's hack comedy. There's no layers to it. It's just shock bullshit.
Yeah, they're misunderstanding, I think, what comedy is.
And some people are good at it. There's some tasteful like shock comedy, which is it sounds counterintuitive, but
a joke like that could potentially be funny once. Like if it's introduced in an effective and shocking way, then you or me would probably laugh at somebody saying gas the Jews in an incredibly inappropriate time.
I'm sure.
But
perfect example. Fucking Count Dankula. The fact that he actually got his dog to react to different things. Who had done that before? No one had done that shit before. It was funny. Yeah, it's not funny anymore. I've seen it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But he did something different with the whole Jew jokes.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, the Count Dankula thing's a very good example of a joke that, all right, the first time I saw it was kind of funny, it's kind of cute, and I could never see his dog making a Nazi salute again because I just don't care. It's not really anything after that. It wasn't a particularly good joke, but I accept that it was a joke.
But guys, there's a whole major difference, and stupid ass Cog thought was trying to tell me like, oh, are you saying Count Dankula is not allowed to say jokes? No. Telling his dog to do a Nazi salute, that was not about the Jews. That had nothing to do with the Jews. The joke was this dog that they say is super cute is actually the worst thing ever. So the statement behind the joke is it's bad to hate the Jews.
I mean, the dumb thing about that is he actually explained that before the joke.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it.
I know, but what they don't understand is what they do. They're tapping into this actual anti-Semitism, which is everywhere. So let's not lose track of that.
Yeah.
And they're making bad jokes, hacky bad jokes that leverage the fact that there is real Jew hatred out there.
Yeah, and now you don't even now it's completely impossible to tell who are the ones that are just joking and who are the ones that are serious. Like it's so hard to tell now. Which ones are trolls and which ones are the legitimate fucking anti-Semitic people? Like you can't tell.
But you know what's funny? We got Kelly here. How's it going, Kelly?
Kelly. I'm showing this tweet.
Yeah, cringe. Yeah, show the tweet.
Yeah, go. What did you say? Go scramble around for more ratings, Esau. How are those super chat dollars? You were the producer of the Oofcast. LARPing more on give up the pros. Let the pros do this. And then Cog said, well, usually my streams get more views than you, Devin, so am I the pro he is leaving it up to? If so, realize I wanted him on the show, and I guess the pro made that decision, yeah? And he said, you want to play this game? And look at the difference between patrons between them.
But I mean, see, that's a perfect example of what a moron he is. So the guy runs a streaming channel. Like, he does streams on the regular.
Yeah, that's his main thing. I made that point to him, too, earlier.
Right. So you don't think right now I could start a stream on my main channel with 86,000 subs and get more? I mean, obviously, but see, numbers don't. They're not like a definitional thing. Like, you could scrub every number, delete your Patreon. I'm happy to go head to head with this guy because you smell these guys from a mile away. You smell Smellington, but you also smell the weakness. Yeah. I told this guy, I'm coming to Manchester. Meet me in Manchester. Say any of this to my face.
Oh, of course he won't.
And he cowers. He's not gonna. He doesn't say his name.
No, he's anonymous.
He hides.
He's in Manchester. Is he a monk?
Yeah.
To come to Liverpool.
Yeah, he sounds like it.
Yeah. I watched his stream about you.
Yeah.
And he brought up like, oh, I'm not gonna lose my anonymity for this guy, and it's like, what? What a bitch! What a fucking bitch!
Okay, but no, it's
Holy
like
shit.
If you want to be anonymous online, know your role and shut your mouth. Because if you're gonna talk to people who are not anonymous, this is like night and day. This is like what's that movie with the Eloy and what was the other race of people? The Land Before Time.
The
Morlocks, exactly.
Time Machine. Morlocks and Eloy.
It's two different groups of people, and do not come up to the Eloy land where I'm living and bring your Morlock bullshit.
Nah.
Because we're gonna shove you back onto the ground and put dirt over your face because you're a weak bitch.
Yeah.
So don't think just because you've been a weak bitch and it's normalized for you to be a weak bitch, don't think that it's not shocking for me to encounter a weak bitch trying to talk tough.
Yeah.
It's fucking pathetic.
The way I put it is, if you don't respect your own anonymity, why do you expect anybody else to? Like, if you're gonna go out there and not respect, it just doesn't make any sense.
Do you see Shane in the chat? Shane's like, "That's right, Devin. Numbers don't matter, especially when it comes to legs." I can't believe it. Some girl comes up to Shane. She's like, you have one leg. That's a little bit weird." He's like, leg numbers. Legs ain't nothing but a number or something.
Oh god!
I just love how they act like they're being anonymous for them is so important. Like there's some kind of public figure that they need to be anonymous because they're in real danger. I'm like, what are you guys doing? No one cares about
you. Actually have to be a public figure to be in danger. They aren't in danger when they're anonymous.
What the fuck does Cog do that he would be in danger of anybody knowing who he is? Come on.
What is the hottest take they have?
Really? 1488. That's their hot take. 1488, my bro.
But you know what it is? I know that Alf is a comic book nerd, but I think these guys are like, it's an extension of they think they're Batman or Spider-Man or Superman. So like, and it's like, first of all, I wouldn't give shit to Batman or Spider-Man or Superman about their anonymity, because they have a reason. They're actually doing something. They're helping the world, and like, you know, there's villains who want to kill them and shit if they reveal their names. But these guys, and look, if the anime spurgs out there, the anonymous people want to spurg out on other anonymous people, that's a different thing. That's just LARPing, whatever. But like, when they try to deal with real people, there's a really awkward, cacophonous sort of vibe right there. And they seem to be fine with it. I'm not cool with it. That's why I'm like, hey, you're talking mad shit. I'll come to your hometown. Your accent gives you away. I know where you're from. What's your name? Let's meet
danger.
up. Like,
that's the danger, right? It's like, you're the Joker right now. They're like, fuck, he wants to know my name.
You're the Joker that called out as Batman, and him as Batman shied away. It was like, oh no, like I gotta hide in my back cave. This got more real than I thought. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to play as Batman, but then shit got too real. And he's like, oh shit, this is more real than I thought about.
But this is my question, because you got Kelly in here, and that tone of voice, that feminine vibe is so different. It's so shocking to hear that online, you know? Mm-hmm. Because I deal with all these spurgs. I'm having this like whole chimp out session with Esau and Cog. And for me, it reeks of weakness. It's just like, it is so limp, the energy coming off of these dudes. But like, imagine if you're like a normal young girl like Kelly. What does she see?
Hey, I'm a woman too.
No. Don't ruin it. Oh my God. I had a vision of her in my mind, and Rogue just, Jesus.
What's going on here, Dan?
I love you, Jay.
I love you too, Rogue.
Oh, Jay's in here too now.
What's going on?
Stream's over. See you guys. Yeah. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Brexit in 30 seconds.
Oh, no.
Are you streaming?
Yeah, that's why we're in the streaming chat.
Why would we be in the live streaming channel if we weren't?
Are we? Oh, yeah, we are. Didn't even notice.
Hey, what number spliff are you on today? Fucking hell.
I know.
Fuck you, I haven't had any weed today, so screw you, you prick.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
He's slurring bad. Jay, this is actually an intervention, so I'm glad you could make it.
Cheers, Devin. I appreciate that.
Oh, God. We're talking drama. We're talking all the drama. No, but Kelly, do you see that in these dudes? Like, is it shocking for you to see the level of sort of male, just juvenile nature? Just, it seems to be crazy.
Yeah, but it's a different breed of male, right? It's like the ultimate betas. They're not this male presence. It's almost like a half male.
It's a very specific expression of weakness that you
exactly.
Very odd.
It reminds me of like a meerkat in the savannah of Africa, and they're usually running away from lions and predators and all that. But somebody puts them in a little armored bubble, like a little Pope mobile, and then they're like, "Ooh, this is like bulletproof. Like nobody can get to me in this thing." And then they start talking shit, and that little bubble car that they have, they just drive right into the middle of the lions, and they're like, "Hey, lions, you're terrible, you're shit," you know. And they think they're impervious to like the rightful backlash, like nature. What?
Yeah, the in between is Devin.
But so these are the begone thought people, right? Like these are the people that a girl shows up to the chat and they're like, begone thought, and you're like, oh, you've never interacted with a girl before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Begone thought. Like, you don't even know who I am. Like what?
It's incredible. No, the mere presence of a woman triggers all of that past trauma. Yeah. It ripples through their body to the present moment. Yeah, it's bad.
Like, I bet, I don't know, it's funny, because even when, oh, by the way, thanks, Devin, for telling me to get off the internet thought.
That was my first tweet to you.
People love that, right? Yeah, people love that. They're like, oh yeah, he's being mean to a girl. That's the ultimate man move, right?
Well, it's weird, because when you get a bunch of loser men together, they seem to, I don't know, they take it even into a lower, darker place. So there's a certain gravity that takes it into just the most Jew-hating, the most misogynistic. It just gets so toxic. It's fucking awful.
They're trying to like one-up each other.
Yeah, but it's one down each other basically, because they're going down. They're like,
at this point they're fucking negative. They're just trying to work their way back up into fucking the low numbers.
Right. Oh, and a perfect example of this is the incel community. that incel community has turned into its own thing. Like, to be popular in the incel community. Do you remember the Vice video where the guy was taking actual shits in his underwear and showing it on his cam because he was telling.
What?
And then,
oh yeah.
and then he killed himself.
Oh my god, who is that? Who are you talking about?
This incel dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they didn't really explain who he was very much. Just some guy on the other end.
Shits in his own pants because he wants to what?
He wanted to get on the show. He wanted to get on the Vice show. He thought if he did something horrible that they'd be like, oh, we gotta point him out.
Oh god. I remember the old days. That sounds like the old days of Howard Stern. And I remember this guy, Kenneth Keith Kallenbach, would come in and try to blow smoke out his eyeballs. And they'd keep bringing him on because he'd do such weird shit. It was just basically humiliating himself.
Look at Mike. Mike is talking, what kind of fucked up stuff does Devin watch? Because I saw a guy take a shit in his pants. Well, I watched the UFC, and there's been several actual live shits happening in the office.
That's true.
That's amazing.
But I think that's why you can understand like why I shy away from like this public. I don't know. It's that's why my Twitter is private, right? It's because there's just so much scum and fucking. I like to filter that.
Yes,
it's
like a formula. So you might attract some positive things, but you know there's going to be just a tsunami of retardation coming at you and negativity.
Yeah. No matter what you do, right?
Yeah, there's no way to get away from it. But there are different communities, and within each unique community, there are ways of getting to the top of it. So, like, if you see a bunch of comedians hanging out, clearly the currency is laughter. So if you can be a comedian's comedian, if you can make the other comedians laugh, then you're the top dog. In the anti-Jewish community, you got to be the most, hey, kike this and kike that, gas them. You got to be the edgiest to get points. It's just they don't understand that it's so degenerate. It's so embarrassing. But that's why they don't sign their name to it, because it is so embarrassing. They don't want their family seeing the shit that they say. They don't want their employer. They don't stand behind any of it. They have no point. But I feel like it's a generation.
It makes them feel good because of the failings in their own real life, right? They can be these edgelords on the internet because in real life they're actually socially awkward fucking autists.
Exactly. Kelly, you nailed it. So the thing is, they view online anonymity as a reset button. They view that as, you died, but you got a one player up. You get to, respawn.
Yeah.
Explains why they love that NPC meme so fucking much.
Yeah, they turned
that's
I haven't even heard of this. What is this NPC meme?
It's basically the SJWs who you can't really change their minds no matter what you say to them. They'll just keep repeating the same dialogue because they're programmed to,
Yep.
So
like Robot Ethan?
Yeah, so they basically now take pictures of people and they replace it with these bland, like, drawn faces, so they all look the same and they're all just NPCs. It's like, yeah, these people are real people. They're not video game characters. Like, what are you talking about?
The thing is, you're making it sound cleverer than the meme it's become. It's actually being used.
And of course, it just, from the day somebody put it out there, now it's repeated constantly by everyone on the internet over and over and over again and played to death within like a day.
Well, Paul Joseph Watson did a video on this meme, so it's legit. That's going to take off.
Right. But we won the meme
talking
war,
about
guys.
the Jeff Holiday?
Oh,
Jeff Holiday. I was in the room when Kekistan started, okay? I was one of the founding fathers of Kekistan.
Remember Billy made the new Kekistan thing, and like 2 days later he had to put out his video explaining, I have to explain what Kekistan is because nobody understands it. Like, yeah, everybody gets it, you losers. It's just fucking corny.
I mean, they're memes. If you have to explain it in depth in a video, then it's not working.
I think if you have to explain the meme, then you might as well. It's time to accept that it's a dead meme. Like it died. Get over it.
It's like explaining a joke.
Yeah, you don't explain jokes, exactly. If you gotta explain the joke, then the joke's dead. It's time to retire it.
I got a theory I'd like to trot out here for y'all. Sure. So let's zoom back and take a big picture look at the internet and YouTube community. It started and it had meaning, so it felt important, at least for me. So I came in through atheism, and it was a gathering place. Like, it was for the first time in human history, for the first time in my life. I was talking to other atheists. I was hearing the ideas being formulated by very smart people, debates. It was interesting. It was like on the cutting edge of history. It was like we are confronting religion. So it felt like, oh my God, I am part of something here. And to contribute to it is important. And then there was, that went on for a while. But then there was a shift to like more political stuff, more the SJWs, the far left. And some of these ideas deserve to be battered, but also broken down and dissected logically. So it's not just good enough to make fun of them. You have to explain why they're wrong. Yeah. Because we recognize that the SJW mentality is massive. So that was intellectually interesting and felt important to some degree to be like, you people are wrong, and now we're going to make fun of you. But here's why you're wrong. But now that has faded, and so what is left?
Just to make
what is left is
there's no explanation.
Right, but it has exposed a lot of people for not bringing anything to the table. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to remember, famous people are famous for a reason. Sam Harris is not accidentally famous and popular. He's famous because he's a genius. Okay, he can think of things in a way and express himself in ways that other people cannot. In the same way that LeBron James can score a basketball in a way other people cannot. In the same way that Mike Pierce cannot take people down. So like, I go to Cirque du Soleil in Zurich the other day. I go there because every single person there, I paid them a bunch of money to do stuff I can't do and couldn't ever hope to do. Making someone laugh is a skill. Can these guys make us laugh? No, they can't do anything.
Not
they weren't even
intentionally.
in on the and they were not originators of thought with the anti-SJW stuff or their own formats or the atheism stuff. They're peons. They're fucking afterthoughts. They're fucking afterbirths. Worthless. What do you think? That is my theory. Do you think there's truth to that? And do you think we're in this awkward phase of we want there to be something to talk about? We're looking for people to watch, and it's like they aren't there. They're scrubs. They're amateurs. They're just so average.
Yeah. I think a lot of what's happened is that the internet's come along and it's given people at least the possibility of being able to reach out and be heard by millions of people potentially, and everybody's trying to realize that potential for themselves who wants that to happen, and frankly they're not charismatic enough.
Chris, it's a good point. The internet has given us what we wanted, which was technology, a way to be heard. It gave us a big microphone, and it's like, what do we have to say? Mm-hmm. And now it's like the play, The Actor's Nightmare. Are you familiar with this? It's a famous monologue.
No.
Where the actor's nightmare. He gets up there, he forgets what he's supposed to say. All actors have this nightmare. He doesn't know his lines, so he has to riff. He has to kill time. He's up on stage, and there's an audience, and he's panicking. Now, I feel like a lot of people are in that boat where they're like, shit. Be careful what you ask for, because you might get the mic and it might expose that you are like a pointless idiot.
And on that note, I think I'm going to leave, guys.
That's why I don't like coming on live streams very much.
Well, I think you should just come to terms with the fact that if you're not special, you're not going to be special, and just get on with your life. There's no point in trying all this extra bullshit, because you're just going to look more foolish than you actually are.
But that's the beauty of the internet, is that you can find your little spot, right? You can find your little...
There's nothing wrong with having nothing to say. It's a wise man that can just sit there and listen.
Yeah.
That's why I
yes, but Chris, there's a difference. So that's true. Not everybody has to be a presenter. You don't have to be a content creator. But if you think you are one and you suck, it's that gap that is interesting.
Yeah, it's the self-awareness of it. Yeah.
It's the feeling of entitlement to that as well that's particularly interesting. Mm-hmm. Like, these people really think that they deserve the success that other people have, as they see it, and I don't understand that at all.
Well, this is why I always used to call Joe Live Life the American David Brent. Like, the David Brent film, it crystallizes this whole attitude perfectly.
Yeah.
Sean, he actually quoted Ricky Gervais from The Office, directly, without knowing it. He was like, I'm a boss, yeah, but I'm kind of like a friend, more first. I think I'm a friend. I make them laugh.
Did he really?
Oh yeah.
Fucking twat.
It was amazing.
I wanna read this tweet. Check this out. This perfectly encapsulates what I was saying. Well, Devin wrote something earlier, and I responded with, to Devin, you are also creative and don't have to shill to your audience to keep them around and repeat the same jokes for years so that low quality followers can repeat them in the chat all of the time. Cog has no substance. And this is Cog's reply. Is that 2 tweets about my creativity, and are you upset that my channel has jokes based on its own lore?
Wow.
Said, how did lore happen without creativity, Al?
What kind of fucking D&D faggot is this?
Well, yeah, you have your own lore, but
you should be embarrassed to use that as an adult.
It's so bad, man. And they
He's
don't
resting
get the
on his
point.
own non-existent laurels. I love it.
Jokes based on its own lore. They don't get the point that if you keep repeating jokes, it's not funny anymore. And to people that it is funny, that's where the creativity is lacking. Like, yeah, you might have a little short burst of creativity and create one thing that's funny, but to continue it over and over again just shows you can't come up with another joke. You know, you have to keep repeating the same thing.
Well, I think the thing is people get cock drunk on numbers. So these people are so devoid of positive validation in their life that they get 100 subs, they get 1,000 views, they get 10,000 views. They think they're like, I don't know, hot shit or something. It's really interesting because having had my main channel be terminated and restored twice, very interesting to see the way people acted towards me when I had very few subs versus many more subs, because it's a real difference. I felt like that Tyra Banks experiment when she put on a fat suit and went around. It's like, oh, people treat me different when I'm a Victoria's Secret model. It's like, really, you think? So I never thought of myself, like, 87,000 is a small channel. Like, that's, if you really want to be honest about it. But even when I had very few, in fact, I talked more shit when I had like 13,000 subs. From like 13 to 18,000. I was just like, flame everybody. I don't give a shit. Because I didn't do it for money. I was just like, whatever, man. I'm here to just fucking wreck shit.
Yeah, this
take names and chew bubblegum, and you're all out of bubblegum.
Look what Kai says here.
Yeah. If I remember, AIU4 was when you were at your most savage. That's what I watched back some of those videos, and they were awesome.
News update on that. There's a guy in Eastern Europe who has every video I ever did on AIU4, which I don't even know if I have those videos. Like they're like 4 computers ago, and they're lost in some storage facility somewhere.
Chris, you have some, right?
I've got some. Is that the guy that messaged me on Twitter the other day?
Yes. So exactly. So I've told this guy he's going to be sending Chris the entire archive of AIU4, and Chris and I are going to upload those.
Yeah.
And so everyone's going to have access to like hundreds of videos from that era, which was my most savage era.
Yeah, really I missed some of that because I didn't even know that channel existed because I wasn't on Twitter and I had no idea. I caught it.
So I take it you're gonna have a section on your website with all the normal videos, and then a section where it's like, yeah, click here, enter your date of birth to make sure you're 18 because this shit is savage.
Well, like
I remember.
oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Go, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, this tweet. This shows exactly how Cog doesn't get it. It has no self-awareness. He says, "Yeah, I'm pointing out." You said, "Yeah, I'm pointing out that you are a Jew hater who makes jokes about the Holocaust. It's not funny and it's stupid and lame. Why don't you just admit who you are and are you not proud?" And he says, "Hey, Devin, quick question. Why do you have Ricky Gervais in that group of atheists on the bottom of your screen sometimes? You realize Ricky doesn't think that any subject is off the table when it comes to comedy, right? You're a moron, Devin." That just shows completely how he doesn't get it, man. He has no self-awareness.
Well, first of all, Ricky Gervais has talked about how he crafts jokes all the time, and the subject of the joke really has no bearing. It's who the target of the joke is. Yeah. Where is the humor coming from? It's not just because it has to do with the Holocaust doesn't mean it's an anti-Jewish joke.
No, yeah, he doesn't get it. Just like you were talking about the Count Dankula before with the dog, you know, like the dog doing the Hail Hitler is nothing to do with the joke. That's not the joke at all, you know.
Well, to me, it appears with a lot of these things that they're saying it. They're hiding behind the fact that they can claim it was a joke in finger quotes, but it actually seems to speak to some sort of more underlying sort of actual belief that these people hold. And that's why the jokes come across as being so sort of thin and unnecessary and false. It's because they're not funny. There's no substance behind them as a joke.
Layers to it.
Here's what it is.
Yeah.
It comes down to an infantile need for attention. So when you're a baby, one of the first skills you learn is to cry, because when you cry, you get what you want, whether it's a changed diaper or food. or breast milk, whatever. So a little bit older than that, sometimes you say a word, you learn a word like fuck, and every time you say fuck, your parents freak out, and your siblings, and you think, oh my god, it's important. I have the power. This is like a superpower. I can say fuck. Now, you like that. We love attention. We love to be noticed. Remember in the movie Avatar, I see you? That's what we're all looking for. That's why that line resonates with everyone. I see you. I notice you. Everybody loves a good listener. And these people are so devoid of being worthy of our attention, and they know it. They know it. If they just played it straight and were like, hey, here's a thought. Here's something I thought about. Here's me trying to be an actual person and be constructive and positive with the things I'm saying, people would be bored to tears. They'd be like, you're a fucking idiot. You're a lowlife. Like, I don't want to know you. It's a fucking miracle that you're in my proximity right now. They know that. And so instead they just go, let's go edgy. Let's just get a reaction. Getting a reaction is better than no reaction. It's the same logic that shooters have. Mass shooters. They go out and they're like, well, at least I'm famous. At least they notice me. Hey, those Columbine bitches, they never went out with me. I wasn't the homecoming king. But they're going to remember my name. What was it? Klebold or something? I forgot his name.
Dylan Klebold,
yeah. Exactly. You're bald. Fag.
I like it. It sounds so funny. He's like, I would rather be fat than you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Well, that's a terrible decision.
I love this one too. You said, how's that show building coming? You are cancer. What exactly do you bring to the table in these shows? Friggin' pathetic. We all hate you. And he says, more than you'd bring. You'd time out half of the live chat over Jew jokes, the number in 1488, or even just saying Hail Trump or some shit. Yeah, that's because those are corny fucking jokes and people of low quality. He said, you're a thin-skinned man, Devin. We all know it. And then Devin said...
It's not Devin doing the timing out, though. What the fuck are you talking about?
That too. But then Devin said, your Jew jokes are so fresh. Amazing that you will die on that unfunny hill. But at least you sign your name to your stale anti-Semitism. Oops, you don't. Go yell at your friend some more and call him a cunt for the 1000th time. What a brilliant mate. Oh, that was brilliant, mate. Yeah, that's a great point you made.
It's insane. But I've never banned anyone. I've never even seen someone say Hail Trump or 1488. But if they did, they would be banned. Not because... of their spurgy fucking LARPing white supremacy or Trump support. It's because it is so unfunny. It actually bums me out to be in the presence of people that not smart.
I know exactly what you mean, and I can say categorically that your mods would absolutely do exactly the same thing.
All over that.
Yeah, I try to time out and ban people that I think Devin would. You know what I'm saying? That's how I try to run it.
Yeah,
see, look at Paul. Talking Donkey just says, I'm more of a 1776 guy. Like, that's a
son of a bitch.
Yeah, see, that's a joke.
America!
Now, if he was to repeat that for, every single live stream 20 times every day, then it wouldn't be funny anymore.
I think we'd have to kill Paul.
Yeah, then we'd have to ban Paul. Sorry, Paul. But I've talked about this before on the live stream with you last time, Devin, where I was saying that it's good to quality control. That's basically what you're doing when you ban these people. You don't want low quality people as your fans or even interacting with you. Why would you want that? The people you surround yourself is not just a reflection of you, but they also
just check out that's the actual V in the chat if you're interested.
And he's making a funny face.
Well,
what's up, V?
But here's the thing. You're right. It's not a shocking concept. This idea that you curate who you want in your life. Yeah. Like we do this every day of our lives. From day one, we're doing this. But somehow we go online and now we have to throw our time away with absolute degenerate losers. No, it's still quality control. You have to do that yourself. What they're actually saying though, they'll try to make it about you're into censorship or why do you got a ban? No, what they're actually saying is, why don't you like me? Am I not good enough to be? Please validate me with your attention. Because I like you. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So they're bitter. Like, do you know how many guys have screen capped when I block them on Twitter? They screen cap it. Once again, it's the Columbine shit. They're like, look, this guy hates my guts and blocked me and wants nothing to do with me, but he's a popular guy and I like him. So he noticed me. He noticed me as he was spitting on me. And it's good enough for them. They still find value in that. It's unbelievable. It's sad.
Well, for me, I'm on the internet and I treat it like I am in person. I don't surround myself with people like that in real life. So why would I do that on the internet? I'm not here for views. I'm not here to blow up or anything. So I'm gonna treat it like I do my real life.
Oh, no.
Imagine
keep an eye on Alf, man.
If you see if I met some of these people that act like that on the internet in real life and they acted like that, I would walk away. I'd be like, damn, I don't want nothing to do with this fucking spurg. I'm out of here, you know.
Dude, I can't believe one of Sargon's capos is here.
Yeah,
he's here to collect
said,
protection money.
Devin advertised this on Twitter. Yeah. Billy was like, "What's V doing here?" And I was like, "Probably because Devin's here." He's like, "Yeah, makes sense."
Who is?
No, but
V?
see,
He's that one with the really annoying accent.
Yeah, he's the Romanian dude that is friends with Sargon.
Hang on, Sean.
Hang on.
Talk
Hold
about
the fuck
annoying
up. Hold
accents.
up. I'm going to be honest. I need to clear something here. I'm going to be honest, but I would rather have a conversation with V than a long conversation with Sean.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh.
I can't say
Shots
that because I'm
fired.
friends
We
with
got-
Sean. I know Sean. I can talk to him and be fine with it.
we got blood
V's
sports right
accent
here
is
and
less
now.
annoying.
I don't think his accent's annoying, but it's kind of funny to me. I like to hang out with Sargon.
Yeah,
Oh, that guy!
to be honest, I don't particularly find either accent, Sean or V, that offensive. I find them interesting.
It's
You know
fun.
who's
I find
excited?
Jay's
Kraut.
accent. I find Jay's accent offensive because I don't know where the fuck it comes from.
Yeah, Jay has
He
like
says
a...
he's a fucking Englishman.
You're right.
But
It's a very neutral English accent, is Jay's.
Oh my god, I like Chris. He's like, I don't mind Sean's accent. Chris, your accent's like a half inch away from Sean's accent.
Oh yeah, well,
We used to make fun of you.
If you look at us on a map, me and Sean practically live at the same sort of height northwise on the UK. So yeah, it's
Exactly.
going to be similar.
We gotta keep you separated.
Yeah, but it's that half step that makes Chris's so much better than Sean's.
I have a very Yorkshire accent, and Sean is full Scouser.
Yeah.
I'm not that bad with the Scouts. I mean, there's a lot worse.
Oh, there's so much more. I remember we were watching Till fighting Sean. And he talked at
Yeah,
the end of
yeah,
it. And I was
there
like,
are
"What did
worse,
he
yeah.
say, Sean?" And I can't tell what he said.
I
Translate it for me.
translate for people. Yeah, fucking hell.
It's like Chrissy actually has got a very mild Cornish accent compared to some you hear, because some people.
That's
I love Chrissy's accent. To me, she has the best British accent. Like,
Yeah,
I love it.
I would say so.
Who has the best accent?
Chrissy, she's got
yeah,
a good
definitely.
combination of all the accents, really.
And even at first, sometimes I wouldn't understand what she was saying, like certain words and sentences she was saying. Now I'm used to it because I've talked to her for so long. But at first, I'd be like, "Wait, what?" She'd have to repeat herself. But I still liked it.
Every now and then she slips out a proper Cornishism.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
She said, "I don't even have an accent." Right.
Yes, you do.
She has the accent of a princess.
Well, don't encourage her.
Of course,
Still an accent.
we are all disregarding Sarah Jessica Farter's accent here, aren't we?
He has a beautiful
He
accent.
does have a
Cam,
beautiful
yeah, I like his
accent.
accent too.
Yeah.
And I've heard it personally in my own ear.
V said, "Alf is a discount."
That's
Ralph
so
changed
gay,
my mind.
Jay.
A discount Ralph. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Alf,
not.
Alf, what are you gonna call your stream?
The Alfcast.
The Alfcast. I'm gonna call it Alpha Male, like Ralph says, right? Alpha Male.
Alpha Male. That's actually quite good.
Yeah, I'm better than Ralph because my name actually turns out to become Alpha Male and not Ralpha Male. It works better. No, yeah, I'm definitely not like Ralph. I'm not even into the drama.
What did I
stuff.
call you?
The Alpha.
I called you an incant.
An incant. Yeah. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Incant.
No, but everybody wants to get in on streams because, look, the one thing it does provide is live interaction, which, as a YouTuber, it's a totally different thing. It's a dead process. I make something, I post it, I read comments that scatter, they come in just over time. There's no back and forth there. There's no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're live and there's an audience, it does change things, and it's almost a totally different sport altogether.
V said something that I kind of like it. He says, "Well, since Alf is a discount Ralph, why not call your stream instead of the kill stream the ill stream?" And I kind of like that. That's very New York, right? To say something is ill, like, yeah, that's ill, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's very New York.
The Beastie
I like it.
Boys.
Yeah, the Beastie Boys, right? Licensed to
Very nice.
ill. I do like that, but no, I'm not gonna do that.
Can you imagine V? Imagine V was like your doctor. He's your surgeon. His bedside manner,
Take
coming
down
in with
your
that
pants,
voice, and you'd be
please.
like,
I can. V is a doctor. Can we get? Some
I would immediately request a new doctor.
I'm gonna need you to turn around and pull down your pants, please.
I would immediately ask to be medevaced out of Romania. Just send me to the U.S. Embassy and let me die. I'd rather do that.
Oh, you said imagine Devin was your hairstylist.
If I'm ever on a stream with V, I'm dropping my pants and saying, "Can you tell me what this is?"
Well, V makes fun. He says, "Imagine if Devin was your hairstylist." Yeah. There's a lot of bald hairstylists.
Yeah, I'd actually would
like
think,
a very common thing.
I actually think bald hairstylists would probably be better because they don't have hair and they want, they think of all the styles they would want to have if they had hair. So they would play that out on other people.
All day dreaming
dreaming of new hairstyles and stuff like that. Like, Mike said, "I like Devin's haircut." Of course you do, Mike.
It'd be like the worst irony ever, like going into hairstyle and then it all falls out.
See, I think it's funny when people make fun of my hair because I don't know. It's almost like a throwback, something very innocent to it. Because like I don't care about it at all. So it's just like it's like little limp arrows that just bounce off my exterior. But
I mean, it happened to you really early on, so it's like you
had a lot of time to get used to it.
I mean, regardless, it's a very fucking sort of childish and puerile thing to attack someone on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like anybody can like.
No, but the thing is, the only way it would have a sting to it is if you didn't have hair and that led directly to you not having women. Like if there was a consequence to you not having hair, and there isn't for me, so it's like it just sort of it's a dead end. It's just like
Yeah, it only works on people who have low self-esteem because of that, because then it hits home. But
like for example,
it doesn't matter.
If I say to somebody, "You have no talent," what I'm actually saying, the extension of that insult is you have no talent, which is why you have no money, which is why you're poor, which is why you suck.
Yeah.
So, but if I said you have no talent and the guy actually has a bunch of money and has a kick-ass job, it would be a lame insult. You see what I'm saying?
Like hair loss isn't a fucking indicator of anything other than your genes.
I love how we tried to
other than you don't have hair, that's all.
I love how what is his name? Cog tried to make fun of you being bald and saying that it was because of low testosterone. It's actually the opposite. It's high testosterone.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
What a retard.
Well, V's asking if I have pubic hair, and I'm happy to talk about it.
Yeah, no one wants to know about your mangled area, Devon.
No, I'm a firm
Okay.
believer in taming it all down there. I'm a manscaper. I'm like of the Howard Stern school of thought. I'm in a constant ongoing battle. Like less is more. Less is always more, pretty much. In fact, I remember I was talking to my girlfriend about underarm hair, and I was like, she was like, "Why do you have underarm hair?" I was like, "Well, because I'm a man." She's like, "Yeah, but like, what does it do for you?" I'm like, and I started thinking about it. I was like, "Yeah, it is kind of gross, actually. It like maintains the smell in there. There's absolutely no point to having it. I have the razor in the shower anyway." And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. So I just shave. I shave it anytime I think of it. I'm just like, fuck it. I don't want it. What does it do for me?
As well.
What do you guys do? Does anybody else?
I don't shave my armpit.
I trim my area because I agree.
Armpit hair is absolutely no, but it's vestigial. It does nothing for you. Now I have a bunch of chest hair. I keep that, but like underarm hair, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
it is.
So
you're right.
And to be honest, I can't think of anything that it's used for at all. It's just in the way.
No, I'm saying. So let's review.
You get rid of your armpit hair. Why don't you get rid of your chest hair then?
Yeah, that's a good point. I like the look of the chest hair.
It's a good point, but on top of that, the armpit hair actually collects bacteria and stinks. Like
yeah, that's the thing. That's why.
Yeah, it is an actual detriment to you a lot of the time.
Okay, so let's review. I shave my armpits. I pee sitting down, and I watch Eurovision.
There's nothing wrong with peeing sitting down. I've been doing it since before Devon said anything about it.
There's the difference. Some people would be embarrassed to say that, and that's because they have low self-esteem and they're afraid of people judging them.
Yes.
But if you have confidence, you can say these kind of things, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Just like I go around saying,
I'm glad that you noticed that.
Yeah, like I say, I go around, I read comic books, I play video games. There's a difference between me and the other people who do that. The other people who are, have low confidence and all, I don't do that. Yeah. I'm full of confidence. I don't give a shit.
You also have a functional life and like jobs and shit, and like you go outside of your house.
Yeah, and have friends and girls I talk to and stuff.
And right, but I'm so sick of like here's the thing: every one of us is weird and quirky. Like those three things that I told you, they're abnormal. I think they're perfectly justified, and I think everybody should follow suit.
Yeah.
But there's so many followers out there, so many fucking pack animals. Just they sit in the school of fish, and they're just like conform. That's what people did in high school. Do you remember high school? Grade school too. Yeah. It was don't stand out, fit in, like hide. Yeah. It's like when the teacher asks, "Who wants to answer this pop quiz question?" and everybody's like, "Oh, don't call me. That's how most people act, and it's just so nauseating to me. It's like, just
and the person that
yourself.
did answer the question would get insults and whatnot.
Look at this nerd.
Teacher's pet.
So when I was
it's funny, Devin, because from what you're saying, there is also the exact opposite of that, and there's those people who just want to stick out desperately so bad that they end up not being themselves, you know?
Well, or they lie. They exaggerate or lie.
Yeah, they end up not being themselves. They just want so much attention that it becomes desperate. And
the thing that we love more than anything is honesty. We want a real moment.
Yeah.
This is what we seek that out when we go to see a movie or a TV show. They're trying to recreate real moments. But like this Smellington, that hot mic, everybody knows that was real. So the conversation was pointless. It was a wife coming in saying to her husband, "You smell like shit, take a shower." That's not that interesting, but the fact that it was honest, it was like, that's what made it compelling.
You got a clip of a man's real life, you know, as opposed to who he is on the mic, you know.
Right. And all the bravado, like you could take everything that dipshit has said online, and none of it is as interesting as the 30-second conversation he had with his pregnant wife.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So,
that's what I was trying to tell him. Like, it may be an embarrassing moment, but I think this might be a turning point for him, and he can go either way now. Maybe he can realize what he's doing is bullshit, and he can become a better person, better online.
I understand.
Or he could just sink himself.
Yeah, you were being nice to him.
Yeah, I was really nice to him. When I see an inkling of somebody being able to like maybe gain some self-awareness, that's the point where I'm like, hey man, let me talk to you for a second.
Maybe self-awareness, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of person with even remotely enough talent to be.
No, but at least if he was himself, he can at least have.
Successful.
At least if he was himself, he could at least have some quality audience people and meet some quality people.
And maybe he could even have some.
Quit and go take care of his wife and get a real job.
Maybe he could also have some fucking self-respect, which he clearly hasn't got.
That's my problem with him, is that he just seems desperate. He's desperate for those views. He really wants his channel to blow up and this and that. And it's like, dude, you know, that looks bad. Even if that's true, you don't show that because that looks bad. You know, it's like people don't like people who seem desperate. You know, it's like those guppy in the water that sharks are looking for, right? They look for the weakling in the bunch.
Well, to talk about ideas here and trends and just, you know, bigger than just somebody said this and somebody doxed me. No, but did you see the DMs of the people? Oh my God.
These guys are all out for blood. They're looking for it everywhere. They're looking to screw each other over at this point. That's how I see it. That's why I don't like to associate with these people. Fuck that.
Do you think this kind of coincided with like all this when YouTube started going to shit? Do you think this is like people just sensing the end and they're trying to grab whatever the fuck they can before it all turns to shit?
Well, I think that there's always going to be a need for content. So it's going to morph and shift, but it doesn't mean it's going to shift in a better direction necessarily. See, people are desperate for a common enemy or a purpose. So if there was a war tomorrow, everybody have something to talk about. If there's a major terrorist event, we'd all have something to talk about. An election, oh my God, that will carry us for a whole year. But when you don't have any of those things, and by the way, there are none of those things right now, everybody's just eating themselves, and they're just like, fuck, you suck. Oh, fuck you then. It turns into just nothingness.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Especially if you think about it, it's a drama channel. So obviously, when there's no drama around, they have to make it, you know, and look for it. So they're looking to screw each other over just to have that next drama to keep the views on or get more views. And there's no way around it. You can't constantly have drama. There's always going to be points where it's, you know, there's low drama out there. Yeah. And then what are they going to do, right? What are the shows going to be about? Because they have nothing else.
I mean, the fact of the matter is there's a lot of downtime in life. A lot. And we're always connected to online. So if there's anything remotely interesting online, it's going to beat waiting for the train or waiting for the bus or lifting weights, you know, in silence. Now, the one thing that YouTube and this whole thing has that is better than, say, podcasts or mainstream products or Netflix is that A, it's interactive, so you do have a voice and you can be heard and you can actually talk to these people. We're all real people. And B, it can be cutthroat honest. It's not controlled by corporate anything. It's instantaneous, so we can talk about things that happen right now. And there's a sense of sort of realness, familiarity. It's almost like a conversation you might have in a pub. It's not like all polished and it's gone through all sorts of middlemen, and it's like it just feels false. You know that false feeling? You watch the news or you watch a sitcom. It's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, this sort of takes a wrecking ball to all that. And even if the actual product is like not that interesting compared to like a Netflix show, at least it's real. Like that's the one thing we have. But it seems to be the final thing that we have, because half of the products that we see now are just like, it's unwatchable. People ask me, they go, "What YouTubers do you watch?" And I don't watch any. Who am I supposed to watch?
Yeah.
Who's good?
You're the only consistent YouTuber I watch.
gonna
Everything
say,
else
you-
is just
you
what
have-
random stuff pops up that looks interesting by the title.
I'm guessing you've seen most of your stuff though.
Yeah, you see the editor.
Dude, I see my stuff like 4 times. Like, but by the time a video is posted, I'm sick of it. And that's why I barely go back.
Mm-hmm.
Because I recorded it, then I edited the audio, then I placed the audio into the After Effects, then I put visuals on it, then I checked the sound quality, then I might have reviewed it one more time. Oh my god, I'm over all of it.
Yeah, I can imagine. This happened to me the other day where I was talking to Amy, and I was going through some of my videos, and I was like, wow, I totally forgot I even made this video. Like, I don't even remember some of the videos I made. I've been doing this for a while now, and I don't even have nowhere near as many. I think I have like 200 videos. But there's some I even totally forgot about.
No, but there is a span of time that if it passes, then you can go back and watch it, and it's actually entertaining because you forget what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was in, where was I? I was in Munich. No, Cologne. I was in Cologne, and I was listening to what I did an hour-long video going against the Atheist Experience.
Yeah,
what's his name? Russell Glasser and this turtle dude. And I was cracking up. I was at a Starbucks, and I was laughing out loud at myself. I was making myself laugh. It was like some weird comedic masturbatory session. I was loving it. I was like, dude, who is this guy? He's fucking great. Oh god.
This Jeff guy in the chat brought up Wang. Yeah, I just discovered that channel, and that guy's pretty interesting. But then, yeah, it's kind of like the same stuff again too. But he seems like an interesting dude.
Did you say you just discovered Wang?
Yeah, his name is Wang. He's an Asian dude. He's from New York City.
I
His
have
name's
never
Justin.
met Wang.
Like, his name's
still
Justin.
don't know who
His
that
name's
is.
Justin Wang, so he just named his channel Wang.
No, I'm looking this shit up right now.
Yeah, he's like some long-haired metal dude from New York City, and he just kind of talks about internet anomalies, like, you know, people like memes and stuff like that. I don't know. He's kind of interesting. But I watched some of it, and it's like I could tell it's all the same stuff. You get sick of it pretty quick.
I want to say that I support you in what you're doing, and I think you should have all the rights as everybody else.
Okay.
Beautiful. What Steve Shives thinks of Devin getting his channel back?
Imagine.
Steve doesn't he doesn't acknowledge my existence. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't pay attention to it.
I was looking at Steve's view count on his Steve and Stuffy and on his Ask Me Anythings. We were mesmerized by how, I mean, it's almost impossible. We crunched the numbers. For one of his Ask Me Anythings, he's getting 0.8% of his audience to watch it.
I thought it was less.
Zero.
Holy shit!
0.
I would give up.
I thought it was lower. I thought it was like 0.008.
Lower than zero.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, what if the guy just he rips a hole through the space-time fabric because his video was so unpopular that it gets less than 0 views? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's like negative like 20 and shit. Like,
I mean, the vast majority of that guy's subs are clearly ghost subs, though, aren't they? They've been subscribed forever, and they're don't use YouTube anymore.
No, but Chris, now he's happy to be the chief captain of the Star Trek nerd army. and he's happy.
Yeah, because he's
like,
growing on that.
Oh yeah,
That's
he
where
feels,
he's getting views.
He's actually getting new subs
Jeff,
from that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jeff asked, is Steve
stagnation.
actually doing it for a living? Yeah, I think so, right? I don't think he has a job, right? I think he just lives off the. I think maybe his wife works, but I think he just lives off the.
Exactly. They have 2 incomes, and I doubt he has a day job.
Yeah. I don't
so, they don't leave their little suburb. They just sort of live very modestly.
How the fuck does his wife like deal with that? Fucking hell.
I think she supports.
She probably
gave up on life.
I'm guessing she's the top and he's the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And she's definitely wearing a strap on.
Oh yeah,
she's been in his videos and stuff. I think she supports him and tries to help him out in it, but I don't know.
Well, didn't she do these Stephen Stuffy videos with him?
I think she does.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she does.
Let me Stephen Stuffy.
Indeed.
Mike,
that is the.
Mike says, Devin, what do you think about the secular talk guy? Isn't that Kyle Klinsky? Yeah, right.
It is Kyle Klinsky.
Yeah, Kyle Klinsky.
That's a good question.
The lesbian
when are you doing the next video on that lesbian? We haven't seen a lesbian video in a long time.
Don't insult my people.
I think some of the first videos I did on him were on AIU4, and I think he's at Politicon right now. He's just, again, he's a young, politically active dork, and he's older now, so he's not as young as he used to be, but he's still obsessed. Like, he tripled down on this obsession. So there's a certain kind of guy, like this Charlie Kirk guy that you just saw at Politicon talking to Hassan, where they, instead of playing sports or partying or doing other things, they obsess about politics and policy and government, and it's so nerdy.
Yeah, that's their sport.
Right, but once again, because he gets paid for it, because he got all this popularity, and the Young Turks support him and all that, he just continues to do it. I find him to be an irritating, weak, bog standard regressive shit.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, his personality, his character, he's a weakling.
Did you see,
put it this way, if
okay, yeah, finish up. I'll continue after. Go ahead.
Okay, well, if we were on the Lord of the Flies island, and it was me and Kyle Klinsky, I would find the nearest boulder and drop it on his head.
Like Piggy gets it.
I was gonna say like Piggy.
Yeah, I'll Piggy him. I was gonna say, did you see that Charlie Kirk and Chenko at it on the latest Politicon? Did you see that? No. You guys haven't seen it?
Chen kind of fight with. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They started yelling at each other. Charlie Kirk got up. Chen got up from the audience and shit. And they were like yelling at each other. Looked like they were about to fight.
Well, it came out. He asked Hassan how much money he makes.
Yeah.
And Hassan's like, he said it. He's like, I make $65,000 a year.
Yeah. And Charlie Kirk said, "You make more than I do." Like straight up.
Yeah. Well, it was very weird, but I'm guessing that Hassan was talking about the TYT paychecks because he has other things that he does.
Yeah, he does have other stuff. I don't know if he meant
like
all together.
I'm sure he monetizes his Instagram for sure, and he has Twitch, so he's not counting all that. Like it was a real weird, shady answer. Like, just say what you make, you little cunt.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Charlie Kirk still made his points. I think his point was that he made more money than him, right? So, and he still did, even with the $60,000 a year.
His point was that you claim to be such a socialist. Why don't you go to a socialist place or fork over more of your money? You're a capitalist.
He's living a capitalist lifestyle.
Yeah.
Sure. Like you said, he's monetizing his Instagram. That's that proves it right there instantly. He does on Twitch and he makes.
I couldn't believe he said. He was talking about proletariat. He mentioned the proletariat, and he's using buzzwords from freaking Marxism, and people are like, Hassan, do you even know what you're doing? He's like, what? Proletariat? What's the big deal? That's like saying comrade to a guy. It's like, and by the way, he kept saying bro. He's like, oh, bro.
Oh,
dude, dog.
It's like bro science, but bro politics.
At least he dressed up this time. Remember last year he wore like a t-shirt and high waters, like chains.
Yeah.
At least this year he dressed up. He
wore
a suit.
Somebody the worst kicked an animal through Top Man. He's a fucking twat. Top Man is like DK Max. It's like.
I'm gonna say you got
worst outfit.
Stop making UK references to Americans.
Yeah, we don't get that shit, man.
Yeah. Yep, you're leaving us behind, man.
What's like an American like fucking? Oh fuck it, just carry on with the conversation.
He's like, I'll just drop it.
Please don't explain the joke.
Yeah, I'll save you. The worst outfit of the year by far was Michael Rowland's at MethCon.
Oh, that was horrendous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even if you're a dude
right.
who's gonna wear a skirt and a shirt, those are not the ones to wear. Like, it was just a fashion disaster altogether. There's no redeeming value to that.
Took his shoes off. Awful.
Wasn't he wearing a dress?
Yeah,
That
he
was
wore
Michael
a
Rowland's,
dress
wasn't
with
it?
a T-shirt over it, and even the dress
Oh my
itself was
God.
even an ugly dress on top of him.
Yeah.
The point that he was
See
wearing a
this?
dress.
Look, we got some good jokes in the chat. The proletariat and brocialism. Bromunism. So that is, you just saw, that is a creative impulse from the chat. They heard us talking. We talked about the bro shit with Hassan, talked about communism and socialism, and they put that together.
Yep.
Now that has the potential to carry on. I will put that in a video.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Dude,
next time I talk about Hassan, and I will, everybody knows where it came from. It's from these people here. But it's piggybacking on what the last guy said, so it's very nice. So well done.
Yeah.
Brocialism.
Brocialism and proletariat.
Yeah,
I really
that's a
like
really
that.
good
That's great. Eyelid's funny, man. I like him when he jokes around.
What did he say the other day? He said something that was real funny, or he had a comment. It was cracking me up. I forget. I just have a good memory about him.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. He's always.
I don't know.
throws
I follow
these
him on
little-
Twitter today.
Yeah, he throws these little jokes in there, here and there. That's always brightens everything up.
Yeah, I think he's one of the OGs on the Discord as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been there from the beginning. Yeah, Cam said eyelid is ridiculously witty. yeah, it's true. And he's also a Northeasterner like me. Haha. Thank you, comrade.
West Coast, best coast.
You want to read the super chats?
Sorry, you think I have super chats? What?
I'm kidding.
I was like, you think I have super chats?
That was fucking brutal. That was Devon. Jesus.
I do have the one a Streamlabs donation from Kelly that I didn't read the last time. Maybe I should read that because it's pretty funny.
Wait, we can't give super chats. What? How? Are you not qualified?
I applied for it, but it still hasn't been approved. I'm still waiting for it.
Ah,
That's why I've been using Streamlabs.
close. Oh, look at you! You're advertising it right there.
Yeah.
You get more out of Streamlabs.
Yeah,
anyway,
Streamlabs
don't you?
takes way less of a cut.
Good.
Like if they send
You
like
gotta like the balls.
the $5,
God.
when somebody sends me $5, I get $4.55 out of it. I'm not sure how much that $5 would be from YouTube, but I'm sure it's less than that.
And you get it straight away, don't you?
It transfers the next day, but it's straight away enough.
Yeah, with YouTube you don't. You have to
Definitely.
wait till it ticks over the month, and then you get your paycheck into your AdSense account.
Oh, fuck that. But Kelly gave me $5 last time, and she said, "For only $5 a day, you can save a starving Peruvian child." Love you, Alfie.
Hang on, doesn't
Gotta
that mean
love
she
the
still has
balls.
to give you $5 more for today? Because, you'll starve.
yeah, or I'll starve. She's gonna have to give it to me every day.
Watch The Needle Drop with Anthony Fantano.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen his live streams with the super chat?
No. I rarely watch
It's
it.
fucking off the chain. See how much he makes. It's
Really?
like it's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, it's probably not a lot, to the average person, but to me, it's like fucking hell.
Well, he makes content. It may not be for everybody, but it's quality content. He basically reviews music,
Everything
right?
he says.
And he's very
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
he's very open with his musical taste too. So he'll review music of all kinds. He doesn't just stick. It's not like he's a heavy metal guy. And he reviews heavy metal music. So he can acquire a larger audience because his musical tastes are so open.
Yeah.
And I've seen him even do review like underground records that that people only like maybe like a few thousand people in the world would know about. And he'll still review that.
He does that series. It came from Bandcamp where he just does like really obscure shit. Like so.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm not really
I would
into
like
him,
to
but
point-
I think he's doing something that people want. That people like.
Yeah.
I would like to point something out. Alf has a serious set of balls on him. I didn't ask for a single penny from anyone until I had 30,000 subs. Alf has 1,000 subs. He's like, super chat, Streamlabs, Patreon. Oh my god.
What I'm gonna start doing next is banning everyone from the chat unless they give me money, and then I'll let them talk in the chat. That's my next step. You have to pay to be on the chat now.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys some sweet non-Devon time. I'm gonna go make some videos, but
all right, man.
And speak
chat
to
with you later.
Yeah, it's been fun.
All
We'll
right.
talk later. Bye. All right, now that Devin's gone, now everybody's gonna leave the stream. Nobody's gonna talk.
Oh, we're not going to talk shit about him?
Yeah. now it's
for.
bash Devin time.
That baldy fuck.
Oh man.
I gotta go about 9 o'clock anyway. So
Yeah, me too.
About 9 o'clock. What was that, in a half hour? How long have I been streaming for?
90 minutes.
90 minutes. Oh yeah, so I'm good for another half hour. Lately my streams have been 2 hours, and I think that's a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
Although I
Mike
think
said, great, Devin isn't here, party's over.
But
Damn, you have a lot of people watching now.
yeah, I was going to say, you
Yeah,
got
I'm
to
just
over
waiting for
80
it
at
to
one
drop.
point.
But yeah, at the end of what we were talking about, well, what this stream was about was the Oofcast, and I legitimately felt bad for that Thomas dude. I didn't have much of a opinion on him in the first place, but I thought he was the better of the best of the worst, out of the four of them. The other four are really cringy, and I think he's a little less cringy than the rest of them. But
I don't know if I'd have made that determination before, but given what happened and the way that it happened, I think he at least deserves a little bit more sort of sympathy and understanding than any of the others do.
Yeah, I was talking about this last night, and I was like, some of the people I talked to were like, yeah, let's go make fun of him, and I was like, you know what? This might be a turning point for this dude, and realizing like what he's doing is wrong. I was like, I think we should give him the benefit of the doubt, see where he goes.
I do think personally that you're being too kind there.
Yeah,
but
that's
with
me,
that
man.
said,
such a nice
I'm
guy.
a cynical cunt, and you've actually spoken to the guy, so we'll see. Time will tell, won't it?
I don't think he's gonna step away from his viewpoint of I want subs and I want my channel to grow, and seeming desperate for that. I don't think that's gonna go, but. And I don't think the point of having a quality audience over the quantity of audience is gonna stick to him. But I think that's kind of the most important thing at the moment.
I think it's probably what has he got, like 5,500 subs, and I guarantee you pretty much every single one of those is a bad quality actor.
Yeah. I mean, that was the point. Remember Dan went in there and he came in hot, and he was just kind of saying like, "Hey, look at all this fucking anti-Semitism in your chats, and it's all about 1488 and Jews." Is like, where do you guys stand on that? And as they didn't respond to that kindly. They took it as police your chat. He wasn't really saying that, but he was like, "Oh, you want us to police our chat?" Blah 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 blah. And it's like, what are we supposed to do? Ban people for it and time them out? Blah blah. And it's like, well, kind of, yeah. Like if you keep these bad actors in your chat, it's growing that, and more of them are gonna come, and then sooner or later your chat's just gonna be 1488 and gas the Jews over and over and over again. That's all
you can see a good example is the chat that you've got going on here. Like with a few exceptions, it's just a constant stream of sort of high quality people. Yeah. And okay, you've got 65 people watching or whatever. It's not about the number, it's about the quality of the people watching, and that is, and you can see that in the chat.
But even if you're not like banning them or getting rid of them, like address the fucking issue, address the question. The question was, what do you think of people saying that? Not, are you gonna get rid of them?
Yeah, it could have been a simple answer of like, oh yeah, we find it funny, they're trolling, I don't agree with it, but it's for fun, it's for trolling. And it's like, yeah, maybe. But I've talked to people. Last night I talked to one dude. He actually subbed to my channel, so he might be watching this, but to me he seemed legitimately racist. And it's funny because he seemed like a reasonable dude. We were having a conversation, seemed very reasonable, but he just constantly kept bringing up whites and Jews. And I was like, well, and we were talking on live stream. Thomas's mic died, so it was just me and him talking, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't agree with the bullshit you're talking, but I agreed with your stance on what's going on in this drama. And then he kind of stayed quiet about it, and then when we were off stream, he started talking to me, and I could tell he was trying to edge into like trying to figure out what race I was, and I just told him like, yeah, I'm Hispanic. And he kept talking about it. He said something about, I've met 2 Jews in my life, and they were both assholes. And I was like, yeah, well, I live in an area with a lot of Jews, and I've met good Jews, and I've met asshole Jews. And then he tried to say, yeah, I would have to see proof of that. And I was like, yeah, but you're taking the proof of 2 that you've met as proof that they're all assholes.
Yeah,
and
2 out of millions.
Out of millions, yeah. And he stayed quiet for a little bit, and then he said, yeah, that's a pretty good point. And it's like, yeah, some of these people, these people just haven't really thought deeply enough into this, and they just kind of cling to this trend.
Well, plus I've seen it's trendy to be like sort of joking about hating these people, so they're quite happy to go along with it to be part of the gang kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I talk about people of little substance. They don't think deeply enough into these things. They just see a trend and they follow it, and eventually you hear this trend, and you start believing it. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like we were saying, like Dan was asking them to talk about like what their opinion is on this, because when you have a chat that's all 1488 and gas the Jews, sure, some of them are trolling, some of them are people who think they're funny when they're not, but some of those are legitimate fucking racist people. You know what I'm saying? Legitimately racist, and you don't know which is which. You know what I'm saying? And you're just egging these people.
Whether they're joking or legitimately racist, well, if it's a joke, it's not funny. And if they're legitimately racist, at least for fuck's sake, make your point about your racist ideas a little bit more cleverly than just saying 1488 for fuck's sake.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's just
well, it's like when it's like when, say, like when we talk about Islam or Muslims, like point out, we're looking at the numbers and we're looking at the issue and we are criticizing the ideology. There's none of that.
No.
Like, yeah, we support Israel, etc., but I'm sure most of us as atheists would have problems with the the Hasidic Jewish kind of attitude towards the world with their religion, and we would criticize the fact that there is no God, etc. But if I go out to like some march against Islamic terror or something, and I'm talking about my perspective as an atheist, and then some idiot fucking kid comes along and he's like, oh yeah, fuck Mohammed, and like he's got no substance to his argument, I don't want to be around that person. It doesn't mean I don't think you should criticize Islam.
I completely agree with that. I mean, and broadly speaking, I guess if you're really talking about the religious issue, I am against Jews. But but I'm not quite that black and white. So if you actually look at the problems that Jews cause in the world, they don't cause any problems. So I'm not against them. I've got other things that I can focus my hatred on. Thank you very much. Things that actually matter. Who cares if some people believe some things I don't believe that don't affect me? I just don't care. I haven't got the energy to spend on worrying about that. And in the Jews' case, Jews have brought a lot of positive things to the world that we all enjoy, and I acknowledge that. And that is a direct result of them being the breeding that they are. So
all these Jew haters are gonna fucking hate it when the Jews come along and save us all, especially when it comes to things like us running out of fresh water, and Israel is like the leader in desalinization technology.
Well,
and also, vegans like literally owe all their food to the Jews because
people like cling to things like for Muslims, like, oh well, the Muslims, I don't know, they made our way of writing down maths in the fucking 3rd century or whatever. It's like, all right then, maybe they did, but are you telling me we didn't have maths before then? Of course we did. They didn't do anything particularly useful. We just happened to use the Romans' calendar now.
Yeah.
If the Romans hadn't have done it, somebody else would have done. It's not fucking rocket science.
Yeah.
They always point to that that I don't know where he was from, but there was an Arabian guy who measured was like the first guy to measure the circumference of the Earth. Things like that. It's like, yeah, but we've moved past that. And the bad thing about Islam is the fact that it actually put a stop to a lot of that ingenuity and curiosity in favor of their religious bullshit.
I can't remember.
And if you look at the Jewish tradition, they didn't really do that.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was reading or watching or where I got it, but I didn't realize the amount of sort of ancient texts with regards to science that Muslims deliberately destroyed, so that they could rewrite all of the sort of the knowledge of humanity in their own words. And so much has been lost as a result of that ideology, and that's something that goes on still today. You see, Muslims destroying. Well, you've seen them in like Syria, destroying archaeological sites, archaeological treasures in Syria and places like that. Not because they're causing them any direct problem, because they want to rewrite that entire history. And that's just the way that ideology is.
Yeah, and there was a whole thing where there was this Muslim organization, or Islamic organization, I should say, and they were basically, it was called like the Institution for Islamic Inventions, and they were just like touring around the world and around the USA, like all these like Islamic inventions, and they were just like, half of them were like people had already invented that shit, and it was like basically just like taken from, like they would just take ideas and rearrange them. It was just full of bullshit claims.
So I mean, to get back to the original point, the Jews don't do any of this shit. So I mean, so what people hate about them, I cannot fucking fathom. Because it's just jealousy.
It's straight up. This is a funny observation I'm going to give you right here. It's straight up this. You know how the SJWs are all like, oh, the white people are in charge. All white people have privilege. We hate white people, basically, right? Mm-hmm. So the right does the same exact thing with Jews. Jews are in charge. I hate all Jews. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing on both sides. Only one's with Jews and one's with white people.
And frankly, in both cases, neither side's right. Whites are in charge, and neither are Jews.
No, it's individuals who are in charge, obviously.
Yeah, that's a complete fabrication. Now, there might be people in charge who happen to be Jews or happen to be white, but that's got nothing to do with them being white or being Jews.
They imply as well, like people who have power, the people who are in positions of power, obviously. They get like, they have malice implied to their actions, who are in the lower rungs of society, and the majority of the time it's just human mistake. Like, that's all it is. Like, people always want us to go, oh, it's this big evil conspiracy, and like it's really not.
I do like your drawing, Chrissy. It's cute. Sunday Doodles. For everybody to see, there's Chrissy's drawing if you look in the chat.
Oh, very nice.
Oh yeah, they look beautiful. Speaking of drawings,
I remember that gun. That's the Namco gun for their arcade shooter games in the 90s. I love that.
It's too degenerate for me.
I love it. That's what I'm all about. Degenerate.
Naked women makes Sean nervous.
Because there's thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, women naked. Oh God, what do I do?
Hang on a minute. Did you just say a depiction of a nipple on YouTube?
Yeah.
Ooh,
oh.
I had Amy's poop in a stream one time by accident.
I know. Funnily enough, I was talking about that the other day with who was I talking? Oh, Lance. I was like, "What? Have you not seen this stream, Lance?" He was like, "What? No." It was a stream where Amy had a nip slip. I was like, "Yeah." How have you not seen this?
Now,
and it's
like
still
80%
on YouTube.
of the people listening right now are going to start looking through my streams looking for it.
Well, she's done it twice. And I had to message her, like, by the way, at this point in this video, maybe you should check it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, once she fucking also exposed her dress as well, which isn't quite as exciting as a nipple, I agree. Yeah. But she needed she needed to go back in the video and blank that out, which she did. Mm-hmm. But I don't think she cares too much about nipples. If YouTube doesn't care, Amy doesn't care.
Yeah.
But back to the talk we're having, it seems like people who take their political agenda to an extreme, it seems to always go into identity politics, and it also seems that they need, like Devin said this before, how people need like enemies and shit, and it seems like they need to scapegoat all their problems onto like one race, you know.
or just one issue. Like people who are like one issue voters, like they think, oh, if we just deal with this one thing, then everything's gonna be okay.
It's funny now. You got the far left who want to blame everything on all white people, and then the far right wants to blame everything on all Jewish people. Well, obviously, the far right is mostly white people, so they're not gonna blame white people. But
Even the far left have their problems with the Jews.
oh yeah, the far left hates Jews too. So it's like no matter what, the Jews are fucking hated on either side. But there's an extremity issue, I guess, like that you tend to lump up whole groups together. You know, it's like granted, even if all the people in charge and all the elite are Jewish, that doesn't mean it's all Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? Like Jerry Seinfeld doesn't rule the world. You know, he has no place in that.
Yeah, he isn't part of this sort of ruling elite class, even if he is Jewish.
He's in the cabal, man.
Yeah, and he worked hard at comedy to become famous. He was a comedian since like the early 70s, and nobody heard of him until like the 90s. You know, like he worked for like a good 18, 20 years to get.
But there's people who will dismiss something like Jerry Seinfeld's comedy because he's Jewish. It's like,
ridiculous.
How do you not see that is a slightly, what's the word, bigoted? I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's 100%.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think I was reading something the other day, and they were talking about how, you know, the way, like, I mean, I'm a lot younger than you guys, but like you'll remember, you know, how there was like phases in music or like art where everyone was like, oh, like this is the new cool thing, and like we can be tribal with this, like, oh, I'm a metalhead or I'm a punk, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that anymore. Everything's being leveled off. There's no real like trends anymore, and it like
that's a good point.
Everybody's gravitated towards politics because like there's always going to be tribes there. Like that's never going to change.
I guess the internet kind of smoothed that over, right? Where people weren't so much getting lumped into the kind of music they listen to. Or this and that.
I mean, I think it's probably important to realize that this whole sort of internet phenomena is still maybe 15 years old, something like that, and as humanity is still sort of settling into sort of integrating it into our sort of psyche and our way of living. So I think probably what we'll see in the next sort of 20 or 30 years time is a lot of settling down of that sort of thing, and I think we will probably start to see trends like musical, like the musical trends you were just talking about, starting to sort of come out in a much more pronounced way again.
Maybe.
But currently, I think humanity is still kind of stuck on the novelty of the internet just being what it is, and it's just sort of flattened everything out.
Yeah, and that's where I put that division that I've always putting, instead of being generational as in like Gen X and millennial. My split point is the people who didn't grow up with the internet and the people who grew up with the internet. I think that's the big generational split is right there. Like, I didn't grow up with the internet. I didn't have the internet till I was like 16, 17 years old. You know, some of these people had the internet their entire lives. So I think that's
I didn't have the internet till I was probably 17.
Yeah, we're probably around the same age when it
I didn't have the internet till I was like 14.
Yeah, that's just because you were poor, not because
I was going to say that's.
But see, that does create a split, though. That does create a split because he was poor. He didn't have the internet until he was older and grew up without it. You know.
And that son of a bitch! Just because I'm poor now doesn't assume that I was poor in the past.
No, you were always poor. You're a chav. You were raised a chav. We all know.
Now, I mean, to be fair, before, and I don't know, none of you were nerdy enough for this, but before the internet, there was bulletin boards, and I was actually into bulletin boards probably from the age of like 11 or 12. So I was. This sort of electronic interaction with other human beings has been a part of my life probably longer than most people in my age group.
I mean, I'm younger than everyone here, I think, and like I didn't grow up with like I didn't even have like a mobile phone until I was like 16, 17, things like this, and I remember the transition between like maybe I'm thinking of it in the sense of social media though.
Maybe.
I mean, but that's more to do with your parents, because your parents didn't give you. I mean, nowadays you have kids getting phones when they're like 7. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, I don't think I had a phone till I was maybe. I don't think there were phones to have anyway till I was like 19 or 20.
I didn't have a phone till I was in my late 20s.
What I had. You're gonna love this. I had a pager.
Yeah, I remember having a pager.
I think I had a pager as well at
we used
some
to call them
point.
beepers,
Yeah.
but
Nah,
pagers too.
Just in,
I had beepers.
this just in, Jay was a crack dealer.
Oh.
No, I had a beeper too. I had at least 2 or 3 of them.
That's why Jay wasn't poor when he was younger.
Yeah,
I
'cause he
get
sold
it.
drugs, yeah. He was a mule for someone. He used to keep him in
Is
his
that
butt.
what we're gonna do when we move to Costa Rica, Jay?
He
You're
used
gonna
to
go
boof-
back
He
to
used
selling.
to boof his drugs.
No, he's going to go back to smuggling crack in his ass.
Yeah. But yeah, some
You're my
people, you
cover
can notice
rogue.
that there's some younger people
Oh, yeah.
and they don't really act like this. And it's, I don't know if it's true, but I bet maybe it's because their parents kept them away from the internet till a certain age, you know? There's some people you'll see
I
that grew
actually,
up with it their whole life.
if I had kids now, which I'm absolutely not planning on doing ever, but if I did, I would probably try and keep those kids away from the internet as much as possible.
Yeah, at
I
least
realise
until
that
they're mature
that
enough.
isn't entirely realistic, but I do think, like my sister with her kids, she exposes them to way too much from the internet. Even now, her Facebook is just all pictures of her kids, and they're only fucking 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I would not do
wouldn't do
that.
that.
I would not do that at
I've
all.
seen that.
Wasn't there a girl that like sued her parents over that shit?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you might be able to do that. When
probably in America, but yeah.
I feel like it was like Europe or Australia.
I like how
maybe.
I like how Paul said, "Don't ask when I got the internet."
Fucking hell.
Yeah, Paul, how are you getting on with downloading WhatsApp onto your mobile, mate?
Yeah.
I still can't get over that video Paul sent to Alpha.
I know, it was absolutely savage, wasn't
And then
it?
you find out this whole time he's been trying to get WhatsApp on his landline phone.
I did have a missed call from America the other day. I thought it might have been him.
Ironheart 221 said, "I didn't have shoes until I was 14."
This is gonna turn into that fucking Monty Python sketch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Up and down the hill in the snow with no shoes.
Our house was a
Paul's
hole in
already
the ground.
confused.
What's a mobile?
That's actually a very good point. Yeah, that's
Yeah, sorry, I should have clarified. A cell phone.
cell phone.
A celly.
Celly. Ugh.
Yeah, that's old.
Ugh.
That's 90s talk for like a
Yeah,
cell
you
phone.
just put. I mean, I've never heard that
Celly.
term before, but you just put shivers up my spine.
Oh,
and
well,
like
you guys
that.
say telly, so don't even try.
I fucking do not.
No, you do not. I just say you guys
No,
as
Jay,
British
Jay,
people.
mate. Jay, mate.
Well, I
It sounds
say
like-
I'm on the phone, mate.
No.
Got
That's
to-
for
telly.
TV. I
I'm saying
think.
telly.
Yeah,
Because
Oh,
I'm saying
tell
it's-
it, nah.
What's on the telly?
What's on the telly? Yeah, the British people say that.
Yeah, that's one
when I
contraction
first
that I've
heard that, I
forced
was like,
myself
Nah,
What?
mate.
That
It's
was
always
so
what's on the tube, mate.
On the tube, yeah, we used to say tube as well.
No.
The
To be
boob
fair,
tube.
in Liverpool, we just put E on the end of everything, like Siggy,
Yeah,
fucking
Siggy,
Telly,
yeah, you guys do.
Bees,
Divvy.
the busies are coming, Divvy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said Siggy either. No, I'm going out for a
No,
cig.
we never said
I
it. We
would
used
never
to
say
say
Siggy.
Sigs, yeah, Sigs, but not Siggy. But here we say Stogs a lot. That's a Northeast thing. It's like, yo, you got a Stog? You got an
And
extra
obviously, and this would not be an American thing because you'd probably get fired. But I'm just going out for a fag.
Stog? Yeah,
That
yeah.
would not be allowed
No,
in
we've
America.
never-
I'm guessing.
We've never used that
But
term.
it-
I mean, we do
In
it
the
as a
UK,
joke,
that's just
'cause
a
we've heard-
standard word for a cigarette.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't mean gay person. Well, it can do, but it doesn't. not
Yeah, I know
automatically.
friends who play in video games and they've gone full SJW in there and they'll get banned for like hours because they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go for a fag," and then next thing they're disconnected and they're like, "Shit, you said the wrong word."
Whoops. Damn those
That's gay.
American mods.
Unless you wanna eat some faggots.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah, there's
faggots
also
as
the
well.
little,
Yeah, pork
sausage.
You'll
faggots.
also
You're
get
right.
banned.
They're like
And if
little-
you're talking about the faggots of wood, that'll get you banned.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have faggots for tea. Yeah,
Yeah,
that wouldn't
that's
be
like those
allowed.
little sausage balls. Pork
Yeah, like
sausage
pork.
balls.
I don't actually know what they are. Pork balls and gravy or something.
Yeah,
But they're
pretty
called
much.
faggots.
We were talking about this the other day, and I was pointing out how the symbol for fascism is like a bundle of sticks, and like a bundle of sticks is called a
The
faggot.
faggots, yeah,
So
so they're like faggots.
yeah.
Those damn fascist faggots.
Well, you know what they say about faggots? They do dress smart.
Fucking hell, Jay.
Jesus
Oh, the
Christ.
traps,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Hugo Boss dressed to nonsense.
It's actually quite funny that Antifa ends up being filled with faggots.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen them fight. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Those are funny, man. And it's not like I'm even for the alt-right, but they do end up being tougher people than the Antifa people are. So you see them
I just
try
think
to
it's so
attack and
funny.
get
The
knocked the fuck out.
Antifa people are so they're so sort of emboldened by the fact that they're wearing a balaclava and you can't see their face.
Yeah.
And they start shit, and then they get the absolute crap beaten out of them
every time.
almost every time. It's
Even
like,
with
dude,
weapons,
why are you why are you doing this to yourselves? You look dumb.
Ugh, idiots.
If you're gonna fight, don't be covering your fucking face up. It's like the worst mistake ever.
Well,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
Well, the fact that they cover their faces is it makes no sense, because it's really like society in a lot of places seems to be more on their side. And then you see the alt-right guys who people, who on the media and stuff are mostly against that. And they're the ones showing their faces. So it's kind of weird that the people that the media is kind of for are covering their faces. But it shows that they're there for violence. You wouldn't cover your face unless you knew you were going to do something illegal.
I mean, the thing with the media being like for these people broadly is that it really has, or the way that they want to boil it down is to, it's left or right, it's black or white.
Yeah.
So, it has to be one thing or the other. It's a completely, from the media's point of view anyway, it's a completely polarized situation. So you either support the people on the right or you support the people on the left, even if they are like covering their faces with balaclavas and starting fights.
When it comes to Antifa, the media is kind of flipped on that, because I think it's become apparent that they can't keep supporting them in the face of all this violence. Like
I think with as far as Antifa goes, it's become apparent that the fucking public that watch the media's content do not support these people.
Yeah, and it's become too hard to justify them being violent. Like it's before they would be like, no, it's because the other people started, but there's way too much video and
there's way too much evidence that
they
just
can't
simply isn't the case.
Yeah, they can't just brush away the violence, so they've started to like turn their backs on them and taken a more neutral approach, at least when it comes between the far right and the far left. But
people go even worse. They try and justify it. They go, "Oh well, they're fighting Nazis."
Yeah, that's even worse.
Punch Nazis, like.
How do you know these people are Nazis? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. It's like they're going around just punching people protesting. You don't know if each individual in that protest is a Nazi. Like, you're just fucking making that up.
Let's say there were actual fat Nazis walking the streets and wanting to do what it is not actual Nazis did, and they were the only hope we had to defend ourselves. We're all fucked, because if any of you have ever been in a fight with them faggots, not one of them can even throw a punch properly, let alone anything
we're doomed.
else.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, though, like if there were actual Nazis, I think we'd be okay, because like actual like men would come out of the fucking woodwork to actually do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guaranteed, if real fucking Nazis came about, like these people would be nowhere to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course not.
They get to fight against this cartoon character of a Nazi in their head. It's just LARPing.
Yeah, it works on both sides, because I liked how the analogy, or at least the way Devin like analyzed like people calling waving Nazi flags and stuff like that, and on the far right and trying to be Nazis, and it's like, yeah, that's because this huge thing happened. This was something of great significance. This was a group of great significance, no matter how bad or they were, they're still a group of great significance. So these people are just trying to cling on to something from the past of great significance, you know what I'm saying, and equating themselves as Nazis. And then you have the people on the opposite side who are equating their enemies as that, because it's something of great significance. We have this huge enemy, they were so huge in the past, we got to stop it from happening again, And they're all basically LARPing. That's all it is, man. It's just two sides LARPing on two different sides of an issue. It's insane.
Like when people say, like, oh, people try to, especially in America, people try to act like they're in this big civil rights movement for people of color and trans people and all the rest of it, and they're basically just trying to reenact what actually happened in the actual civil rights movement. Like they want to. It's like when you go on a fucking like roller coaster or something. It's like you buy the T-shirt, like you buy the T-shirt and say I was there. Like that's all they want to fucking do. Like they see fucking like Martin Luther King, you know, I have a dream speech, and they see the crowd and they think, oh, this is our moment to do something like that. When it's nowhere near the significance of those important moments in history.
Yeah, it just smacks of people being like, they want their own moment like that so badly that they try to make that every single time that they appear in public, and it's never going to happen for them because none of them are as important as Martin Luther King in that moment. It's just, you know, their lives are far too pathetic for that.
I want to bring up this fucking idiot who doesn't understand shit. Ask yourself why people get banned for simple questions and why these questions make people so uncomfortable. Don't be an NPC. Think for yourself, but yet uses the term NPC. You're not getting banned for questions. You're getting banned because you're a person of low substance, and we don't need you in the chat. We don't give a shit. Look,
oh man, I can't read it. It's gone.
Yeah, the questions you're asking are useless. Nobody gives a shit about it. Rogue, are you not modded on my channel?
No.
Oh, type something in the chat so I can mod you.
In cunt, Elf.
Huh? Say that again? What?
Say you broke up, Sean.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Sean.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Vegan cunt.
No, it's just some. I think this is some alt-right dude or just some troll, like just these other 1488 gas the Jews kind of guy. I have to say, like, in the end, I really don't give a shit about the whole thing between Israel and Palestine or whatever. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. Like, these people take such an interest in something that has nothing to do with them. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, it doesn't affect them whatsoever.
No.
If they're determined to hate the Jews, it forces them onto the wrong side, in my opinion.
Yeah. To me, as an outsider, and that has nothing to do with me, what it seems like is I would be more on Israel's side. But in the end, like I said, I really don't give a shit about the conflict out there. That got nothing to do with me. Don't give a fuck. At all. It doesn't affect my life at all.
This guy who I think, is this that Banned by Baked I support?
Yeah.
Is it this guy?
Yeah. I think he's the guy who Tice banned earlier, which is called Hemogoblin.
Oh, is that him?
I think so, because he got timed out and then he came back in with that account, I guess. Also, I'd like to bring up to anybody watching, I don't play this whole game of, oh, free speech, you banned me. This is my channel. I do this for fun. My chat is for my friends to talk. If you're a new viewer here and you're cool, that's fine. But if you come in with shit that we don't like, you're out. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about I don't give a shit about my free speech. I need my free speech. You guys are against free speech. No. This is my channel for fun for me and my friends. Yeah, what's up?
Free speech, what people don't understand, free speech is also the right of the other individuals to either listen or not listen.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You are choosing not to listen.
That's how I see like timing people out in a chat is me turning away and walking away from that person. You don't have the right to make me listen. This is
deleting somebody's message in a fucking live stream chat on YouTube with under 100 viewers is not infringing on their free speech. They can always whatever they've typed into that chat, they're quite welcome to go out onto the street and say as loud as they like if they want. You're not stopping them from doing that. It's got nothing to do with free speech.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also see it like
go on his own channel and make a video all about
yeah, that's what I was saying. YouTube is one platform. I'm not taking away from the entire platform. I'm just turning away and not listening to you on my channel. Go to your channel. Hey, in fact, go make a channel if you don't have one and talk about this, what just happened here, and call me a bitch, call me a Nazi, whatever you want. Call me SJW. I don't give a shit. That has nothing to do with anything here, so you can go away. We weren't even talking about that. He was just in case he says we don't want to hear his question. I'll read it out. Hold on, let me find it. Because in the end,
failure to understand free speech.
In the end, you'll see how it's like something that I really don't give a shit about. Is I did read it before I got banned. I just don't fucking care.
So that Hemogoblin one.
Yeah. I gotta open up.
That's what are you talking about?
The thing he said. Okay, he said. Oh, he got a message deleted before. Let me see.
Why did Israel bomb the USA Liberty and try to blame it on Egypt?
Yeah. Before that, he said, I don't know exactly why were 5 Mossad agents caught recording the attack and dancing. I did the NYPD, then let them go. I don't care. Why did Israel bomb the USA Liberty and try to blame it on Egypt? I don't care. Again, Just look up USS Liberty. I don't care.
I have an idea why that might be, because the US is a close ally of Israel, and maybe they thought it's just easier to blame it on Egypt. I mean, maybe they shouldn't have done that. I agree. I completely agree. Yeah. But I get why they did. If that is what they did, which I very much fucking doubt it.
Oh no, Egypt did bomb the US Liberty, but who gives a fuck? It was like in the 60s or 70s.
I'm sure
clearly the American government dealt with the situation, got the fuck over it, and made a call, and that call was still go Israel.
Yeah, I mean, you could, if the US had have wanted to respond to that incident in whichever way they felt, you know, was required, then they could have done whatever they wanted to Israel, but they clearly didn't. So could it be that somebody who's slightly more important than the person that asked that retarded question probably made a judgment call to maybe not antagonize the relationship with Israel because of something that they probably were quite regretful of?
To be honest,
after the event.
Makes sense to me. Eilert said they didn't blame it on Egypt. They thought it was an Egyptian ship, so they were incorrect and then changed it. There you go.
Well, so I mean, and I know nothing about this. So Israel didn't deliberately go out to attack a US ship. Mistakes were made. Is that what I'm?
That's what Eilert's saying. It was an accident. I don't know. I don't know about it either. And to be honest, I really don't give a shit. That's got nothing to do with me. Why would I care?
Something that happened in the 1960s is kind of old news, isn't it? It's not exactly a problem for present day.
Shit.
I
don't understand.
And on that note, I'm going to have to leave.
I think I'm about to end this anyway. It's been about 2 hours.
Okay. I'll stick around till you finish then.
Yeah. Thanks everybody in the chat for coming. Thank you guys for coming on. Thanks Devin, if you're listening. Thanks for coming on. I'll probably be streaming more often. I'm having these streams have been pretty interesting and fun, so keep it going. But
we've got a nice venue for it now.
This whole thing doing it off Discord works really well. It's really easy to do.
So if you're on the AIU Discord, hit Alf up if you want to come on.
And if you're not on the AIU Discord, go Patreon him. For $1 a month, you get a link to the Patreon. I mean, to the Patreon, to the Discord. So
that's worth it.
Bye guys. I'll talk to you guys
later.
Bye.
See you.